Yes. Y'all see the title? Yes. 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 Piano.
Chevy
My bad,
Silverado.
Oh
The
no.
best from day one. And the best for the road ahead.
Boys. Two. Cops having the craziest day of their life. Cops having the craziest day of their life.
18th, 2024, the Dubuque Police Department in Iowa received a 911 call from a young woman named Christy Fullman. Christy had just found her best friend of 12 years dead inside her home.
911, what's the address of your
Oh
emergency?
no.
I don't know. I'm on Avoca Street. I need someone right now.
What street are you on?
Avoca.
Avoca? Okay, what's going on?
I was supposed to meet my best friend for coffee. She's dead.
You think your best friend is dead? Are you able to check what the address is?
Oh my god.
Okay. All right, we're going to get help on the way here.
That's bad, bro.
Several units rushed to Avoca Street, but since Christy was too panicked to think straight, she was unable to go outside to provide the exact address. The dispatcher tried to comfort her and figure out exactly what had happened.
W
All
dispatch.
right, just take some deep breaths, okay? What's going on?
I don't know. She's full of blood in her
Oh my
She's
god.
full of blood. Is she breathing at all?
I don't know. I don't want to touch her. She won't answer me. She won't.
Okay, can you see her chest rising and falling at all?
No, I can't look at her.
Okay. It's okay.
Throughout the call, Christy was asked to properly assess the victim's vital signs, but she couldn't muster up the courage to look at her lifeless body again.
Please.
Yep, they're coming.
No.
Okay.
Christy eventually calmed down
Damn.
enough to provide the address, and at 8:51 a.m., Officer Brad Hesselbacher was the first to arrive at the scene.
Hasselbacher. Wait, this looks like a normal scene.
Since nobody was answering the door, the officer entered the residence and made himself known.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Please come here. I don't know what to do.
While a traumatized Christy hid in the kitchen, the officer entered the bedroom and saw 46-year-old Jennifer Daisy lying on her bed, covered in blood, with her mouth slightly open. Upon closer inspection, her head and neck had several deep lacerations. Her ring finger was nearly amputated, hanging on by a small piece of flesh, while her middle finger was partially chopped off and had been neatly set on the bedside table. The officer called in the Criminal Investigations Division and escorted Christy the flesh, while her middle finger was partially chopped off and had been neatly set on the bedside table. The officer called in the Criminal Investigations Division and escorted Christy outside. He asked her what led up to the discovery of Jennifer's body. She said that she and Jennifer had planned to spend the day together after not seeing each other for the past month. When she arrived at the house that morning, she didn't see Jennifer's car, but Jennifer's son Nick had parked his truck in the driveway. Christy assumed that Nick and Jennifer took her car to pick up some coffee. She decided to let herself into the house, and as she opened the front door, she saw Jennifer's son, 29-year-old Tyler Daisy, standing in the dining room with nothing on. Christy panicked and quickly shut the front door, and moments later, she heard another door close. She assumed that Tyler had gone into his room and it was now safe to enter the home. As she entered the living room, she noticed some sort of hair or fur peeking out from under a blanket on the couch. She lifted the blanket and found Jennifer's dog Echo, unresponsive with a severe injury to his head. Although Jennifer's car was gone and the house was completely silent, Jennifer never left Echo alone, and her purse was sitting on the ottoman in the dining room. Jennifer must have been somewhere in the house. Christy went to her bedroom and knocked on the door, but there was no response. She slowly entered the room, and that's when she discovered Jennifer. After dialing 911, she quickly shut the bedroom door and held it shut until officers arrived. After learning that Tyler was still in the house, Officer Hesselbacher, along with several officers who had just arrived, re-entered the home and went to Tyler's bedroom. He was found lying in a makeshift bed made out of blankets, and he still hadn't gotten dressed.
The first thing I noted was his but then once we got him onto his feet, he had a blank stare on his face. He was moving slowly, lethargically.
The officers were concerned that he ingested some sort of substance before they arrived. So they dressed him in a Tyvek suit, and investigator Kurt Rosenthal and another officer took him straight to the Mercy One Medical Center. Meanwhile, investigators at the crime scene began gathering evidence. In the bathroom, they found a hatchet with a palm print on it. Based on Jennifer's injuries, the investigators believed that this was the murder weapon. Although the obvious suspect was Tyler, since he seemed to be the only one in the house at the time of the murder, the investigators needed to rule out any other possibilities. They inspected all of the entrances and noted that there were no signs of a forced entry, but there were footprints leading to the side door. The last time it snowed in Dubuque was 5 days earlier, on January 13th. So whoever had left these footprints must have left them there sometime within the last 5 days. When they asked Christy about the side entrance, she said that it was always locked because nobody ever used it. So it was strange that there were footsteps leading up to it. Apparently, Jennifer's daughter Kylie was the only one with keys for that door, but it was unclear if she had even kept them after she moved out in September. The investigators decided to track down Kylie so they could speak with her, and worked to obtain the Ring camera footage from the front and side entrances. They also tried to get in touch with Nick to figure out why he left his truck at his mom's house and to see if he had her car. Meanwhile, Tyler was still at the hospital with investigator Rosenthal, waiting for some test results. Although he had copious amounts of THC in his system, the ER staff all agreed that his vitals were stable and he was cognizant, so he was medically cleared. However, the detectives were waiting for the approval of 2 search warrants. One of them was for Tyler's house, and the other permitted them to collect Tyler's urine and blood. Since it's easier to collect his blood at the hospital, they stayed there while they waited for the second warrant to be granted. That's when things got weird.
At some point, did Mr. Daisy indicate he needed to use the bathroom?
Yeah, that was roughly about 25 minutes after we got to the ER. I knew that we were working on getting a search warrant to collect his urine, so I asked him if he could just hold tight. We had some processing to do. That's when he stated to me, "I'm letting go, the keys are yours." I urged him to just hold on for a couple minutes. He then leaned back in the sofa that he was seated on, and I could hear him urinating inside the Tyvek suit. I was a little disturbed that a grown man wouldn't hold his urine for a couple minutes, and his answer to that was, wars are meant to be fought.
About an hour later, the search warrant was granted, and Tyler indicated that he needed to go to the bathroom again.
I told him, hey, you don't have to pee in your suit this time. Staff's going to walk in any minute. Within seconds, staff walks in, and as they walk through the front door, or walk into the door of the room, I hear him urinating in his suit again. I scrambled to try to unzip his suit and asked one of the nurses to bring over a collection cup. By the time that happens, we got just a very small sample.
After this wild series of events, they collected his blood and finally transported him to the Dubuque Law Enforcement Center. About 40 minutes after the last bathroom trip, he told the officers that he needed to go again. So Tyler, Rosenthal, and another officer all gathered in the bathroom.
He felt as though he needed to urinate, but he didn't know if he could and thought it might be a couple seconds. He then stated, I'm not trying to dick you around. I told him, hey, we got time. We'll just sit here. Let me know when you need to go. Within a matter of seconds, he said, quantum entanglement, brother, and he started urinating. He said, quantum entanglement, brother, and he started urinating. I was only a step away with the cup. I was able to reach into his stream and got a proper sample.
Although it's easy to find humor in such bizarre behavior, Tyler's family claims that he has a long list of psychotic disorders. Due to these disorders, he wound up in the psych ward several times over the years and occasionally ran into trouble with the law. During Tyler's interview, the detective asked him about his relationship with his mother.
His response was, it's fine, except for when she's acting sneaky like a witch. He then went on to talk about how his mother was part of a covenant of witches.
Tyler said that she was practicing witchcraft just minutes before Christy showed up at the house, and claimed that her witchcraft caused her injuries. When asked what this witchcraft looked like, he described it as his mom putting evil on him.
I then asked him how he felt about his mother practicing witchcraft, and I think that is when he gets into stating something similar to, I just gave up. I just don't care. I don't need her to validate me. He then followed that comment up with, why would I care what a whore thinks? You sit around and drink yourself stupid, fuck like animals, and ruin your children's lives. Why would I care what a person like that thinks?
The detective asked Tyler if he called his mom these names to her face, and Tyler said yes. He was then asked what her response was.
And he said, she's a witch. You know how witches are. Oh, I'm better than you. I will be your fear. I will be your enemy.
Tyler then asked to end the interview, and he remained in custody while the investigation continued. He made several more obscure comments following his interview as well. The first was when Rosenthal had left the room, and Tyler was caught talking to himself in the interrogation footage.
What did he say? What were the comments?
He stated, I would gladly spend an eternity in hell if she could just have a chance at heaven.
He also kept revisiting his claims of witchcraft completely unprompted.
We weren't talking, I wasn't questioning him, and he just stated aloud, witchcraft, brother, witchcraft. A lot that is wrong with my life. When people are trying to get in your way, when you were just trying to pursue happiness. It was at that time I told him he was being arrested for the murder of his mother. His response was, it's hard to argue witchcraft in court, isn't it?
While Tyler was certainly the most eccentric person of interest, he wasn't the only strange character in this case. His sister Kylie was working at the Village Inn 1.6 miles away from the crime scene when her grandma called and told her that her mom had been killed. She was told that the police were looking for her, so she got someone to pick her up from work and drive her to Avoca Street, where she met with the crime scene investigators, whose body cams were rolling. Right off the bat, the officers found it strange how antsy she was to enter the home.
There's no one going. There's no one to one side, or.
Also, considering her mom had just died, Kylie seemed much more bubbly than expected.
I didn't know they left too. Nothing special. I guess this work.
Lieutenant Chad Crable was tasked with transporting Kylie to the station and interviewing her.
Sorry for
Look how crazy she looks.
It's all good. I'm just doing your job.
She looks crazy.
Hey,
Nice to meet you.
Crazy.
She showed no signs of grief and continued to smile and
Crazy.
laugh throughout her entire interaction with the police.
So we'll go in here again. I'll throw your backpack.
Huh?
Thanks. I'll get it back to you.
Yeah.
What if there's a bomb in there?
You want my pepper spray too?
I'll throw it back here.
I know I'm not going to do anything with it, but
I appreciate that.
Although Kylie knew that her mom had been murdered, for some reason she thought that the cops were looking for her for something unrelated.
was never top sent to my house because this.
Yes.
Okay. I was just double checking. Because I was fighting a domestic case with my mom because she said I slapped her foot.
Okay.
If you're wondering what Kylie is talking about, she was arrested back in September after she moved out of her mom's house. Allegedly,
This
she
whole
had gone
family,
back
bro.
to the house and refused to leave, and things escalated until Kylie slapped her mom's foot. Ultimately, nothing came of these charges, but it was clear that Kylie and her mother were not on good terms at the time of her death. Kylie arrived at the police station at 11:10 a.m. and was brought straight to the interrogation room.
Anything else on you that I should know about? Like, just phone and. Perfect. Okay.
Well, I don't think I have anything else.
Sounds good. Can I get you a water pop? Anything like?
No, if you do have it.
I'll do a bottle of water. How about that? Yep.
It's entirely possible that Kylie's upbeat attitude is her way of coping under such life-changing circumstances. However, there are several other ways that her demeanor can be interpreted. Perhaps she was laughing and smiling because she really didn't care about losing her mother. Or maybe she was trying to manipulate the detective into seeing her as a kind and warm person, someone who would never commit such a heinous crime. Other aspects of Kylie's behavior were questionable as well, like the several times that she redirected the conversation away from her mother's death. For example, right before the interview began, she appeared more interested in chatting up Officer Crable than getting answers about what happened to her mom.
Okay, my name's Janet. I'm
Were you there when I called about a guy coming to my house?
How long ago?
Not that long ago. There was a guy at my house that I used to work for, or not work for, one of my customers actually came to my house confessing their love, manic, and the guy that split my tire before that was the one who dropped him off.
Not good.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Wait, while I'm here, I'm so sorry, I'm all over the word. While I'm here, would I be able to ask about police report after this is done?
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Why wasn't Kylie more interested in the details of her mother's death? Was it another coping mechanism, or was there a more insidious reason? If you pay close attention, Kylie's story about her manic stalker could be a sneaky tactic to bolster her alibi.
One of my customers actually came to my house confessing their love, manic, and the guy that split my tire before that was the one who dropped him off.
If Kylie had a flat tire, it would be very unlikely that she drove across town to her mom's house to kill her. But rather than coming off as defensive by explicitly saying that her car was out of service, she found a way to organically work it into the conversation. However, this was all speculation at this point. The detective needed much more evidence before he could make any bold accusations.
So yeah, basically I was just asked with trying to get some more information from you about what's going on today. Again, I'm very sorry for your mother's passing.
So sorry.
What time did your grandma call you saying that we were in the ambulance about to get back?
9:59. Exactly.
Not 59, perfect.
Because my grandma, the smallest thing, you have to get there.
Yeah, right.
This statement from Kylie made it seem like this was just another case of grandma overreacting to something small. She downplayed her mother's death like this several times throughout the interview, as if it wasn't a big deal to her at all.
You're at work, so you're unable to go, is that right?
Yes, I don't have my car. My car needs to be fixed because
you have your car.
with my tires, my all-wheel drive is messed up.
Oh.
Yeah, I love it. Just so much. So I'm so calm. It always happens.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's all good.
In case you missed that, Kylie just referred to
all
her
good.
tires being popped and said, "That shit always happens," which is why she's so calm about her mom dying. It's extremely rare for the subject of an interrogation to proactively call out their own suspicious behavior. Kylie, however, is clearly self-aware that her
this is a
lack of
pro.
visible concern is off-putting. So she takes every opportunity to explain herself, regardless of how unusual her logic may be.
This is a pro,
Another
bro.
example of this is when she explained to the detective why she wanted to keep working after learning that her mom had been killed.
Ron was like, come. I was like, well, I can't really, being a waitress, an hour.
Sure.
And me personally, I don't really feel death. Hence why I'm so calm, kind of. But I was like, what's the point of me leaving? Like, it sounds kind of heartless, but it's not like I can do much now.
Sure.
But
have you had
with how they were reacting, I thought.
It's important to note that Kylie being nonchalant about her mother's death is not a crime. Her suspicious demeanor is only significant if there is other evidence that directly points to her involvement. Crable did note that as the questioning continued, there were several moments that Kylie wiped away tears as they ran down her face.
And dog name?
Echo.
Echo?
She gave her timeline to the detective, saying that she worked all day on the 17th, and a coworker dropped her off at home at about 11 p.m. She was at home all night and left for work just before 8 a.m. on the 18th. By the time the interview concluded, Nick had arrived at the station. He provided his timeline as well, saying that the night of the 17th, he went over to his mom's house to drop off his truck and take his mom's car. Apparently, he was going to Cedar Rapids the next morning, and his truck's check engine light was on. He went back to his house with the car and was there until about 5:30 a.m. when he hit the road for Cedar Rapids. These timelines from Kylie and Nick wouldn't mean much until the detectives clearly established Jennifer's timeline as well. Eventually, the detectives got their hands on Jennifer's Ring camera footage. They started reviewing the footage from the moment Officer Hesselbacher arrived at the scene at 8:51 a.m. and worked their way backwards. 13 minutes earlier, at 8:38 a.m., Christy was captured arriving at the house before discovering Jennifer's body. The next clip was from the night before, at exactly 10:30 p.m. on the 17th, when Jennifer was captured letting Echo back in the front door after a potty break. This is the last time that Jennifer was captured alive, which meant that she had to have been killed at some point between 10:30 p.m. on the 17th and 8:38 a.m. on the 18th. Going back even further on the Ring camera footage, Nick was captured arriving at his mom's house at 7:45 p.m. He visited for about 20 minutes before swapping vehicles with his mom and driving away with her GMC crossover at about 8:05 p.m. According to the Ring employees who released the footage to the detectives, this was the only footage that was saved on the cloud. No activity was captured by the side door camera that could explain the footprints in the snow. Using other cameras throughout the city, the detectives tracked Nick's movements all the way back to the 2400 block of Jackson Street, where he lives with Kylie. Kylie was seen arriving home from work a few hours later, just before 11 p.m. Jennifer's car was on camera all night, and nobody was seen leaving the house until about 5:35 a.m., when Nick got back in the car. He headed south through town and hopped on the highway going towards Cedar Rapids. They also obtained Kylie's cell phone location data, which reflected her being home all night as well. It appeared that Nick and Kylie were nowhere near their mother's house at the time that she was killed. Both of them were ultimately ruled out as suspects. Since Tyler was the only person in the house that night, the detectives were certain that he was their killer. Kylie, who has an active online presence and thousands of followers on TikTok, updated her audience about her mom's murder. The caption read, "Now we celebrate because that's what she would have done. I'll post more soon. #murder, #FYP. By the end of the month, she was back to posting comedy clips, lip syncs, and dance videos. But she also continued to update her fans about Tyler's case as legal proceedings took place. Her videos caught the attention of several media outlets, and during a news interview, she advocated for reform to Iowa's treatment of mental illness. She said that Tyler sought help for many years, but never received proper treatment.
Well, they keep building jails and they're so quick to put someone in jail, but as soon as someone asks for help, they just turn them away.
The day he was booked on murder charges in the Dubuque County Jail, he was placed in a holding cell. It was a place he'd been many times before, and the jail staff said the last time he was at the Dubuque County Jail, he begged for more help, but none was available.
I don't want him to be put away behind bars because he's not going to get help. Maybe a mental institution would be the best thing for him.
Throughout 2024, Tyler was in and out of competency hearings as the court tried to determine whether or not he was fit to stand trial. Although Tyler was initially deemed competent, this decision was later reevaluated, and they determined that he was actually incompetent. Tyler found this decision to be laughable.
I'd like to say this is not one flew over the cuckoo's nest, and I will not be going to a mental institution, and I will not be taking drugs. I am who I am, and I am who I choose to be, not what you say I am. Do you understand, sirs and ma'ams?
Okay. Daisy's biggest concern was being forced to take medication, to the point where he shouted at the judge and his lawyers, stating his constitutional rights were being violated.
Ultimately, Tyler got his way. The decision was reversed yet again, and he was deemed competent. His trial began July 17th, 2024. And surprisingly, he wasn't there. In a letter addressed to the judge, he expressed his devotion to God and said that he wouldn't participate in legal proceedings. So, the trial commenced without him. Christie was the first of the state's witnesses to take the stand. She described the unhealthy dynamic between Jennifer and Tyler.
Sometimes they would laugh and joke, other times he would name call and she would just smile and act like it didn't hurt her feelings.
What kind of words was he calling her?
He would call her whether he was angry with her or joking around. It was just something he would always say.
After giving a detailed account of the day that she discovered Jennifer's body, she was cross-examined by the defense. They primarily questioned her about who had access to the house other than Tyler. This line of questioning quickly overwhelmed Christie.
Kylie and Jennifer had the keys to the back door.
Yes, when Kylie lived there.
Okay.
I don't know if she ever returned them when she moved out in September.
And you don't know that anybody else had a key to that back door?
No, I have no idea.
On the front door, how was this door secured?
It had a key code, keypad code. I need to stop.
Can we take a break?
Yeah. Do you know who has the code for the keypad?
Me, Jenny, all of our children, probably a few others.
Already, they are planting the seed in the jury's mind that someone else could have access to the house and killed Jennifer before Christie arrived. Lieutenant Crable was called to the stand as well. The state glossed over photos of the crime scene, and when asking him if the footprints near the side door seemed fresh, he said that it was hard to say if anything was fresh, but there were no signs of a forced entry or a disturbance to the door itself. During cross-examination, the defense once again focused primarily on the side entrance.
This porch right here is kind of what you were talking about, where the footprints, where it looked like somebody had been walking, correct?
Okay.
That's correct.
And you can't definitively say when that happened, correct?
That's right.
This
Correct.
is the footprints that you observed, correct?
That appears consistent with what I observed outside that side door.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you remember the last time that it snowed before this?
That looks like on the 13th, so 5 days prior.
And so these footprints probably would have had to been within the last 5 days. Is that correct?
I would say that's hard for me to say, but I would suggest it's probable that else the footprints or the concrete would be covered up with the new snow, I would say.
If somebody left these footprints within the 5 days that Jennifer's body was discovered, why didn't the Ring camera capture them? Well, the defense then shifted the focus onto Kylie. They played her interrogation and pointed out her suspiciously gleeful demeanor. They then asked Crable if he determined whether or not Kylie still had keys to her mother's house.
In your investigation, did you ever find out if she had any keys to the house?
I did not.
They then established that Kylie also knew the passcode to her mother's phone.
Were you able to get possible passcodes for Jennifer Daisy's phone?
Kylie provided me 2 potential passcodes for her phone.
Did she give any indication where the account for her mother's Ring doorbell would be?
Yes, her mother's cell phone.
The defense was implying that Kylie could have accessed her mother's phone and deactivated the Ring camera before using her keys to sneak in through the side door. The investigators also never checked Kylie's phone to see if she had the Ring app on it as well. The state addressed the defense's theory by saying that the pictures of the footprints submitted as evidence clearly show concrete underneath the footprint. Since the stairs to the door are made of wood, this footprint must have been on the driveway. The state suggested that there was no clear evidence that someone had even approached the stairs, and that's why the Ring camera was never activated. They also defended Kylie by asking Crable his opinion about her demeanor.
In your 9
Camera always
years
activated?
as an officer, would you be able to say you would be able to predict how a certain person would respond to grief or trauma?
No.
So you wouldn't say that the way she reacted is unusual, generally speaking?
I took control, went solo, and built my own online knife empire.
Knife empire.
On day 2, Tyler wasn't present once again, and the defense explained to the judge why.
He has indicated that he does not want to be here today, that it is the Sabbath and it is a religious day for him.
Okay. All right. Very good.
As the trial played out, the defense tried to instill reasonable doubt in the jury in a multitude of ways, such as suggesting that the hatchet may not be the murder weapon, and questioning how thorough the police department's investigation was. But they always brought the focus back to Kylie's potential involvement. Investigators testified that they never checked the door for any fingerprints and never asked Kylie if she had the keys. One of the officers even spoke to Gina Schletty, known as the unofficial neighborhood leader, and she said that Jennifer and Kylie had an ongoing dispute because Kylie wouldn't return the keys after moving out. Additionally, no search of Kylie's residence was conducted, and nobody asked Kylie to bring in the clothes she was wearing on the night of the murder. But didn't the state have video evidence that Kylie didn't leave her house that night? It turns out that Kylie and Nick's house has a back entrance that was out of view from the traffic light camera. So it was entirely possible that she had snuck out of the house. The investigators also didn't confirm if Nick had actually made it to Cedar Rapids, and they didn't investigate the possibility of him turning around after leaving Dubuque. After a 3-day trial, the jury was sent to deliberate, and just a few hours later, they returned with a verdict.
As to count 1 on the charge of murder in the first degree, we, the jury, find the defendant, Tyler Daisy, guilty of the crime of murder in the first degree. As to count 2 on the charge of animal abuse, we, the jury, find the defendant, Tyler Daisy, guilty of the crime of animal abuse.
Tyler remained in jail until his sentencing hearing on September 4th, 2024, when he finally decided to show up in court. Several members of the Daisy family gave their impact statements, including Susan Daisy, Tyler's grandmother, who forgave her grandson despite the unbearable grief of losing her daughter.
Tyler, I'm going to touch you. You didn't think you were loved, and you didn't think you were wanted, and you were wrong. Your mother wanted you, and she loved you very, very much. Did she make mistakes at the mom? You bet. We all do. But I'm going to ask you to go to jail or prison with this. I forgive you every day of my life. I love you, but I'm mad.
The rest of the family followed suit, telling Tyler that he was loved, but still holding him accountable for his actions.
You need to learn to take responsibility for what you did to your mom. I will always love you and remember the person I once knew, but I don't know you anymore. I hope that you will get the help you need, whether it be in a hospital or prison, but you are better out of society. Everyone will be safer without you.
Bam.
Tyler, I want you to hurt as much as I do. Not in a malicious way, but in a way that echoes the profound emptiness left by the absence of my sister. You are unwell, desperately in need of care and treatment. Our current system has failed you, and it is a failure that we must rectify. The world is a dimmer place without Jenny's light. She will forever be 46, vibrant soul silenced far too soon. She was a remarkable woman, and her legacy will live on.
The last person to give their impact statement was none other than Kylie, who scolded her brother for his monstrous actions that ruined her family.
Tyler, it's so sad how loved you were. And to see how you are now. This isn't what I used to remember at all. And I know it hurts you. That far. Because that's not a get you. This is sad.
You and Christy and Katie, conspiracy to commit murder.
Okay.
Mr. Daisy, let her speak. Let her finish.
I hope you enjoy life in prison.
I can live forever. I have God. Where's your God?
Ma'am, finish what you want to say.
I enjoy that. At least you have some type of feeling.
Read the Bible.
I'm done.
Okay, thank you.
You're making a show of mother's death. Huh? How does that make you feel wearing that skirt?
After the courtroom drama was over, the judge handed down Tyler's sentence.
For count 1 on the offense of murder in the first degree, I sentence you to a term in prison for the rest of your life with no opportunity for
I hope she
parole.
does find a guy.
Tyler Daisy is currently serving his sentence at the Iowa State Penitentiary in Fort Madison, where he will remain for the rest of his life. Kylie has made several TikToks maintaining her innocence and addressing hate comments from people familiar with the case.
Oh, I thought we did see the video. W-Bid.
Hey, we got a down motorcyclist. He's dead. Holy crap.
Her body language to me, what it looked like.
Hey, we got a
Let's see the son.
Hey, we got a down motorcyclist. He's dead. Holy crap.
Her body language to me, what it looked like. I thought she was a teenager.
She's gonna go to Mexico on Monday.
I think she has something on board. Do you really? Yeah.
A quiet neighborhood is rattled by a fatal collision between
Cops laugh after hit and run as he's died.
off-duty Washington State Trooper Sarah Clayson and a motorcyclist. Her behavior immediately Washington State Trooper Sarah Clayson and a motorcyclist. Her behavior immediately unsettles investigators, leading them to discover if the tragedy could have been prevented.
You're not going to sit right here. You are going to be obstructing our investigation, and you'll be in handcuffs. Do you understand?
The following is based on official police records. Please note that all persons charged with a crime are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. On the evening of March 1st, 2025, responders received calls about a traumatic accident along Washington State Route 240, the first in a cascading line that will push them to the limit tonight.
Hey, we got a down motorcyclist.
There's a body ejected, huge accident. There's about 20 cars here stopped. The body's unresponsive, and I hope somebody's called it in.
And somebody is down in the street, and there's a lot of blood.
Thank you for holding.
He's dead.
Richland Police Department officers and Washington State troopers arrive at the scene to find the motorcyclist clinging to life in a pool of blood.
When we showed up, this is my car.
Okay.
So this, we could see him here, and then her car, she was trying to get out of the way. Whatever bike he's on is trapped under that car.
Okay, all right.
He has a fanny pack. I think they just removed it from his chest. She was a first responder. We could tell that he didn't have a pulse, and that's when she started chest compressions.
Okay.
Hearts drop when arriving troopers recognize the driver of the Telluride as being 35-year-old Sarah Lee Clayson, one of their own. In a press release, the Washington State Patrol identified Sarah as a 14-year veteran of their agency. According to news sources, she served as the Tri-City spokesperson with multiple media appearances. Just a year prior, she was featured in a PSA concerning safe driving.
You okay? I mean, I know you're not, but like you're
No.
physically good.
No, I did CPR, and he almost three. No, he was dead then, but
He was not yet. It's not.
we still got it?
Yeah, I didn't even know it was yours.
I didn't even realize that
Yeah.
either at first. I
No.
thought you just stopped.
I know I was walking up
Sorry.
and it looks like
No,
I would have been a little more like,
No.
are you okay?
No.
I just
No, you're
saw
good,
you and I was like, oh, she must have been driving
We were
home.
gonna order
Yeah.
pizza, and I was like, no, I'll just go get it and save the $6 charge.
Investigators checked the nearest vehicles held up by the accident for potential witnesses to the sudden crash.
Hi there. Just let you know I am recording, okay?
Sure. It was just, like it happened right where all the rubble is.
Gotcha.
And the helmet flew. We watched the helmet fly. So
Okay.
which way
was he? Did you see which way the motorcycle
As of right now, it's just an
It
accident.
looked to me like it was coming out this way,
Okay.
but I can't say for certain.
Okay, gotcha.
How
That's
much
helmet?
would
That is.
I'm gonna just say a little comment. I'm not gonna overly let's say a little comment. How much you wanna bet someone says something about her skin color? Just something, watch. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Well, okay, so people are not racist. I think that's all like the first like 5 or 10. Nah, we good.
We're gonna start directing traffic this way. Yes, sir. I don't know if you just want to check it for weapons. Which one right here? This one? Yeah, you betcha.
All right, Bird. Get patches on.
ID?
Get patches.
Oh,
I
there you
didn't
go.
grab the Lucas.
What's his
Let's
name?
get the cot. We'll just get him in the back.
I got an ID.
The motorcyclist is identified as being 20-year-old Joser Emmanuel Vega
20?
Sanchez of Richland.
22. Yo, how old
Joser
is 20, bro? Need a beard, bro.
Manuel Vega Sanchez of Richland.
Alright, go here.
Yeah, I'll get with you in just a second.
What?
Yeah, I'll get with you in just a second. There's a couple state troopers here, so I'll have them figure that out.
It's gonna go to Mexico on Monday.
You can still go to Mexico.
What's that?
You can still go to Mexico.
I know, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I should have saved a $6 delivery fee and said, I'll go get it. It's fine.
Joser is transported to Cadillac Regional Medical Center, where his prognosis is grim. Just when the night seems like it can't get worse,
I think she still thinks that he's alive. That's why she's so calm.
Somehow does.
Sarge.
Welcome to the show, man.
I know. Well, there's another one.
Yeah, there's a fatal in West, and they took off running, it sounds like.
Oh.
So I've got a guy going over there, Weston County, and we're working right now.
We can do everything. Depends on what we're thinking about here, because of course she is a trooper.
Oh, she is? Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. She is actually in our crew.
Okay. Well, given the show in West right now, I'm inclined to call my guys in and minimize their involvement here and go handle that, and that way we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So I'll get that ball rolling.
To keep the investigation impartial, the troopers begin to depart for the other crash site. The Richland Police Department have traffic investigators en route here when they receive a heartbreaking update.
He is deceased. I just verified. And
Okay,
that
now.
officer's going to go, and he's going to go make contact with the family and let them know.
Okay. Let me call dispatch real quick.
Would it be okay if I went home and changed real quick? Please get the blood.
It's Monday. Can never mind. I'll send one of the troopers back there. The vehicle number 2 was driver's deceased.
They gotta go back to the other side. They can't deal with their own. It's this guy? Interest or some shit like that.
He's back there, I guess. So I'll also the motorcycle from this wreck. He passed away too. Probably not yet. Let me ask them. We'll see what
Well, it's like sticking to my
sticking
legs.
to your
so
legs,
I'm like,
yeah.
According to police records, a witness would describe Sarah's behavior as being casual, while officers noted her laughter, not seeming to understand the gravity of the situation.
Her body language to me, what it looked like, I thought she was a teenager.
Investigators from the Richland Police Department's traffic unit arrive on the scene.
There you go. Now the official investigation
Talk over
starts.
here real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna run you through some voluntary field sobriety tests if you're willing to. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I want to do any.
Okay. All right. What about the PBT? You willing to do a voluntary PBT?
I don't want to do any tests based on the
Okay. Okay. Understood.
circumstances. Yeah.
While refusing to take the field sobriety test and preliminary breath test, Sarah does agree to provide a statement on paper.
So before I read it, I don't know that this was ever clarified. You're in the turn lane. You're turning. Was there any other traffic coming?
So there was a car behind him. I thought it was a car with a headlight
Wait, you could deny it?
out. So
Make
it's
me
coming
sense.
this way. Like I say, it was right that white sign. So it's kind of my
Why could you
gauge on when
deny
I
it?
turn. But I was slowing, and then saw there was a car there. And
Wow.
as soon as I turned, it was
Okay.
Boom, right in the
Shouldn't
head.
be able.
Okay.
Just as I almost completed my turn.
Okay. Okay, so
To
you're
deny
almost
something like
finished with
that.
your turn?
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of see where the point of impact was. Literally, I was slowing here, and then maybe like 20 miles an hour when I made the turn.
Okay, so you slowed down to 20 and then...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just give me a couple minutes.
We're good. Don't run up. Fly it. Fly it. Do you want to grab the ferrule?
No. I think she has something on board.
Do you really?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Is there?
we have to.
Is there going to be enough to get a search warrant?
So yeah, I'll write it.
I
mean, unless you want.
What changed?
So I was just studying her. She got a couple misspelled words on here.
Okay.
She wrote sigh, and she estimated the distance between the guy on the motorcycle and her to be 100 feet, which that's way more than 100. That's like 500 feet. She said she was almost through her turn when clearly she was at the very beginning of her turn. Right. I do not have a great sense of smell, but I think I smelled a little bit of odor of alcohol, enough for me to say. And then I told her, I'm like, hey, we just want to rule out impairment. I think with everything, we have to. I mean, I will write the search warrant. All right. So, like I said, we were really trying to rule alcohol out. I'm not convinced that alcohol wasn't a factor. So right now you are under arrest. Okay.
Okay.
So go ahead, put your hands behind your back. So we will be doing a search warrant for blood. Okay.
Okay.
That way there will be no questions.
Yeah, she has to do that.
To get an accurate blood alcohol reading, time
Oh yeah. Since she is a cop, low key, I feel like that's the right way.
is of the essence. But first, Sarah is taken to the Richland Police Department, where she sits in a holding cell for nearly 2 hours while the judge approves the search warrant. She's next taken to the Cadillac Regional Medical Center for a blood test. Finally, nearly 6 hours after the collision, the blood test is administered, and Sarah is booked at the Benton County Jail. It'll take several days for the lab to return with her blood alcohol content level. One day after the accident, investigators visit Joser's grieving family.
Is Mom here?
Yes.
Okay, is she available to chat right now, or?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. For what reason?
Just had a couple questions for her regarding obviously the incident that happened last night. She's not in any trouble. Just trying to piece some stuff together.
Yeah, but remember we are destroyed. That's my kid. My son.
Yeah. Okay.
Investigators learn he was new to riding motorcycles and had only ridden his 3 to 4 times in total.
Ese niño no es mi nieto de sangre, es mi nieto de amor. Por favor. Que salga la verdad.
Claro.
Porque la pido, porque la verdad está de nuestro lado.
Le aseguro que nosotros vamos a hacer lo mejor que podamos para que su familia esté en paz. Porque es lo que estamos tratando de buscar, es que ustedes lleguen a tener paz y entender qué pasó.
As the traffic unit await the lab results, they look to retrace Sarah's steps to determine where and how much she had to drink. They need security camera footage, which is typically deleted within a matter of days. Time is not on their side. As Sarah was returning from Domino's the night before, traffic investigators set their sights on the nearest franchise along the street connecting to State Route 240. The security cameras at businesses sharing the block not only confirm that Sarah picked up an order from Domino's less than 10 minutes before the crash,
And the
but
order itself, like the email and stuff like that. No, she did it in person.
that she and her husband first visited a bar for 4 hours. Investigators now know that Sarah was at the Moon Palace restaurant. What they don't know is how much she had to drink. They visit the bar for answers, which will not be so easy.
We just got some questions.
Sure, can we talk out here?
Yeah, we can do that. Do you recognize these two people? We think they may have been here.
They've been in here a long time ago.
A long time ago?
Yeah.
Okay, were you working on Saturday?
I was not working on Saturday.
Okay, who was working on Saturday?
One of the other girls.
Okay, who's the other girls that were working on Saturday?
They're just a couple of employees.
Okay,
So,
what are the names?
I don't really want to answer anything because I don't know what this is going to turn into. So.
All right, so that's kind of what I figured. So I did apply for and was granted a search warrant for this location.
Okay.
Here you go. We are going to we're going to search and seize the location for receipts, financial documents, badge or ledger entries, or any similar documentation. I will leave you with a copy of this warrant.
Can you let me ask my attorney first? Would that be okay?
No, you don't have the choice, sir.
So what we're gonna need you to do, unfortunately, everyone's gonna have to leave. We're gonna have to close you down until we're done with this.
Everybody's gonna have to drink up.
You guys are gonna have to leave. I'm sorry. Okay. We have a search warrant for the location. None of you guys are suspected of doing anything wrong.
As patrons clear out, the investigators initiate their search. The bar's bookkeeping does more than raise some eyebrows.
Any receipts from that night, just like it says there through that time period? We're not looking for the entire day. We just need the documentation.
They're right here. This is the receipts I keep right here.
Did you only have 2 customers?
No, I did not have 2 customers.
Okay. So where is the transactions for the rest of the customers that happened on the first?
I don't keep track of them. I told you they order a drink like this guy did.
So you have no record of who was here?
I don't have no records of who was here.
This is probably going to be more comprehensive than we originally thought. So what other documentation can you provide to me, or is this all that you have?
That's
okay.
What I got.
Okay, we will probably have to search the premises then, because I feel like this is lacking.
Like I said, people pay per drink. I mean, that's all it is. You come out here.
So you don't have receipts. You don't give people receipts.
I don't give people receipts at all.
So you don't use this.
I do use that. That's why I ring up. I have that roll. I have to look for it for that day.
Well, let's do it.
Yeah.
Brad fetches the bar's records, a Clorox bleach box filled with loose slips. He refuses to divulge who served the Claysons or even acknowledge their presence on the night of the crash.
Sir, with all due respect, I don't understand why you wouldn't be willing to share who the employee was that would be able to answer our questions.
That's not my interest. So
I feel like he is interfering with our investigation.
I feel like you're interfering
Sir, you need to
as
leave.
well.
Sir, you need to leave.
I'm just going to sit right here.
You're not going to sit right here. You are going to be obstructing our investigation, and you'll be in handcuffs. Do you understand?
We're here on a search warrant.
Sir, you can sit outside the door. We are going to search the premises. Do you understand?
Or you
we
can
tried to make you work.
Go sit in the corner.
Okay, that's fine.
Go sit in the corner.
Without a further hitch, the investigation continues. Meanwhile, other investigators on the case conduct road tests to verify if the accident was truly unpreventable or if things were not how Sarah made them out to be.
Ooh, W, I like this.
Go.
They find their suspect's trail
like
of
that.
beers is well documented, but one uncharacteristic gap has their attention.
I'm thinking we maybe amend the search warrant.
You want me to do that right now?
And we just
While we're here?
take all of these. Because
You want me to amend it right now?
I think we'll probably just get on the phone and call for the amendment, because there's like 10 of them in here. They're regulars here.
Okay.
That's why he's lying to us.
Oh, I know.
Well, look. 214.
Okay.
218. 216. He knows who they are. 219.
Oh, yeah, he does. He's destroyed evidence.
He knows who they are.
Well, but not only that, but he has destroyed evidence.
He did that?
There's no way. If every time they come, there's a receipt, and there's no receipt this time, there's 2 transactions.
Yeah.
Employee.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We are investigating a crash, and
You don't have to answer anything.
we just don't say.
You don't have to answer anything. Call Scott, okay?
After interviewing the employee outside, the traffic unit is one call away from taking the investigation to a whole new level.
All right, Judge Shea Brown, you are now on speakerphone with my body camera recording.
Okay, Judge Shea Brown here. It's March 5th, 2025, 4:39 p.m. I have read the prior warrant.
We just suspect that the owners likely got rid of the documentation on the 1st of March after hearing, what had happened with this incident, kind of giving its high-profile nature, and probably want to absolve themselves from any responsibility.
He says they're friends.
And the employee here, the owner's son, said that they are friends with Sarah, the suspect.
Thanks to a name provided by the employee, investigators interview her coworker who served Sarah and her husband on the night of the crash. She confirms that not only was Brad working that night, but that the Claysons are a couple of their only regulars who run up tabs, often having 3 to 4 drinks. The judge approves the amended warrant and the traffic unit secures all the records from December 1st to March 1st.
All right, we're all done. All done? All done. Okay, so I can just go back to open up for business or whatever. Okay. What was that? I can go back. Yeah. You're back to normal. Okay. You are free to be enter as you want.
Thank you very much. Sorry about the hassle. The bar tab from the night of the incident was not recovered. According to the police reports, the investigator noted, Mr. Wu and the Claysons have likely developed a personal relationship and may have had motive to destroy records to protect her. Following a 72-hour hold, Sarah Lee Clayson was released on her own recognizance. According to a press release by the Washington State Patrol, she's remained on administrative leave. The Washington State Patrol Seattle Toxicology Laboratory returned with their findings. Sarah's blood alcohol content was 0.17%, more than twice the legal limit to drive, nearly 6 hours after the crash. It was determined that despite Sarah's claim about Joser striking her vehicle while speeding in a 55 miles per hour zone, he was traveling between 53 and 54 miles per hour when she turned her Kia and struck him with her right fender. It would be 6 months after the incident before Sarah Lee Clayson was formally charged by Spokane County's prosecutor's office with vehicular homicide while under the influence, a delay that Joser's own mother questioned to the media. At her arraignment on September 24th, she pleaded not guilty. While she was ordered to not consume alcohol or controlled substances, she wasn't ordered to wear a monitor. Her trial is scheduled to begin in February 2026.
Oh, she's out.
If you'd like to see select new videos early and help us keep uncovering case files that rarely come to light, you'll find extra footage and unseen details on our Patreon. Channel memberships here on YouTube also include early access to select new videos.
Yo, members, I'm gonna do this. Members, I'm so close. I'm 2 away. Look at. I'm so close, member. Become a member, please. Look at this. I need 2 more subs and like 400 watch hours. So close to it for the members. So.
My name is Cecilia. I'm a mom of 2 girls, a psychologist, and I choose to transform my PBC treatment.
Police department, police department.
Police department.
Yes.
This is 37-year-old Jimmy Allen. Jimmy just discovered his wife's body in the basement of their Michigan home. 18 minutes earlier, he placed this 911 call.
Okay, what's going on there?
She's in the basement. Pulled her up. I tried to give her CPR. I pulled her up.
The dispatcher instructed Jimmy to continue giving Amy CPR while several units rushed to the scene. Officer Ben J. Horn was the first to arrive. Despite the desperation in Jimmy's voice during the 911 call, it was eerily silent as Officer Horn approached the residence. However, as soon as the officer made himself known, Jimmy began crying out for help.
Police department, police department. Hello, help, yes.
Jimmy was found in the basement, sobbing over his unresponsive wife's body. As he grieved, he continued performing CPR.
How long has she been down? Do you have any idea? Do you have any idea?
Give me more than about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Oddly enough, Amy didn't have any significant injuries, except for a very faint mark near her jugular. By 8:57 p.m., more officers arrived, along with several EMTs. They piled into the basement to take over Jimmy's life-saving efforts. Now that Jimmy had a moment to process what was going on, he dramatically ripped his shirt off and broke down on the basement floor. He was able to quickly compose himself and continued to observe the EMTs aiding Amy. Jimmy alternated between complete composure and emotional outbursts several times.
You want to come upstairs with me real quick? Okay.
As you can see, Jimmy seemed calm as he walked up the basement stairs, but as he entered the kitchen, he unleashed his wrath onto an unsuspecting bowl of potato chips. The officers weren't sure what to make of this erratic behavior, especially since they had no clue what led up to the discovery of Amy's body.
Did she make any statements at all?
No,
Jimmy gave the officers a quick summary of his and Amy's night. At around 6:30 p.m., the couple dropped their daughter and her friend off at a nearby high school football game and then headed downtown for some drinks. While at a bar, they got into an argument and Amy ended up walking home alone while Jimmy drove home in their car. When Amy got back home, the arguing continued, so he left her alone to cool off. He went upstairs and threw on the Jim Carrey film Ace Ventura. When it was time to pick up their daughter, he went to check on Amy again.
I was irritated and I didn't hear anything, so I went back down and checked on her.
Does Amy have a history of anything like this? Nothing in her background at all?
Ever.
Okay.
The officers found it strange that Amy would escalate things to this degree out of nowhere. But nobody seemed as shocked as Jimmy.
I'm hoping I wake up, dude.
Unfortunately for Jimmy, this was a nightmare that he wouldn't be waking up from. But suddenly, an EMT emerged from the basement with a glimmer of hope.
Huh? What?
Says she's fighting.
No.
The EMTs were able to re-establish a faint pulse, so Amy was still clinging to life. But when Jimmy realized that his wife was still breathing, he seemed frustrated by this promising news. His reaction immediately set off red flags for the officers. Jimmy then left the room momentarily to grab a new shirt, and when he came back, he called his daughter Ashley to inform her of the emergency.
We had an emergency. Don't go anywhere. There's an emergency. Don't go anywhere. I'll talk to you in a little bit.
Jimmy didn't want Ashley to panic over the phone, so he kept his composure and didn't share any details of what had happened. But right after that phone call, he called his parents and spilled his heart out.
Oh, I don't know what to do, Mom. I don't know what to do. Oh, this is terrible.
Wait, who else is the call?
I gotta talk to the cops.
Although Jimmy was crying his heart out, the officers spotted no moisture on his face at all. They decided to have him wait outside, away from the crime scene. Shortly after, Amy was placed on a stretcher and taken to the back of an ambulance. They rushed her to the Pro Medica Herrick Hospital, just 2 minutes away. The EMTs were finished in the basement, so the officers headed back inside to do further investigation. Now that the dust had settled, they immediately noticed something strange. The basement ceilings were very low, so low that they began to question the logistics of Jimmy's story. Amy was 5 foot 6 inches, and the basement ceiling wasn't much higher, roughly 7 feet. But rather than jumping to conclusions, the investigators decided to wrap things up for the night. The next morning, Officer Horn and his partner returned to the Allen household to ask Jimmy some more questions. They hoped to get a better understanding of what led up to the incident. According to Jimmy, the family started their day in high spirits by making breakfast together and getting Ashley ready for school.
Just listening to music and making lunch and breakfast, smile on her face.
At around 7:30 a.m., Jimmy left for work and Ashley left for school, while Amy stayed home. Jimmy decided to leave work early, so around 12:30 p.m., he came home and took a nap. Then, at 2:45 p.m., the school day was over and it was time to pick up Ashley.
Ashley had a friend over, Kayla, after school. Amy picked her up and I was just kind of in bed. And they came here, she made everybody dinner, 6:30. We rolled out to take them to the game.
After a nice family dinner, everybody hopped in the car and drove to the Tecumseh High School for the football game. As mentioned before, Jimmy and Amy dropped off the girls and decided to head downtown to go bar hopping. They first went to Ember's Bar and Grill, then to JR's Hometown Grill and Pub shortly after. Investigators would later confirm this part of Jimmy's story by obtaining the security footage from JR's. Apparently, nothing seemed out of the ordinary until Jimmy brought up the idea of selling their house and moving down south. Since the family had just moved to Michigan from Florida 1 year earlier, Amy was not fond of this idea. She began texting someone on her phone and became dismissive of Jimmy's comments.
She said a couple of times that, oh, that's not going to work. And she's normally positive and was sort of down and negative. And we started to disagree about it. And she's like, you know, I hope that works out for you. And I'm like, what do you mean me? I'm talking about our life. Like, and this isn't hardcore planning. This is like, you talking about, you know, our future. And she just, well, I hope that works out for you.
Jimmy said that this comment sparked an argument between the two. By the time they left the bar, things were very tense. Amy decided that she would rather walk home than sit with Jimmy any longer. This was also confirmed by this surveillance footage, which captured Amy walking down the street, heading in the direction of their house. Amy arrived home at 7:58 p.m. She grabbed an extension cord and then went down to the basement. At 8:05 p.m., Jimmy decided to go check on her.
She's petting Louie, one of our cats. And what the hell are you doing in the basement?
Apparently, Amy was angry at him for slamming the door in her face as they left the bar. But according to Jimmy, it was just an accident. He did forget to hold the door for her, but he didn't slam it intentionally. Amy didn't believe that it was an accident, so she started throwing insults at him, and the two proceeded to argue for about 10 minutes. Nothing good was coming from this argument, so Jimmy went back upstairs, leaving Amy in the basement with the extension cord. About 25 minutes later, at 8:40 p.m., Jimmy realized that it was time to pick up Ashley from the football game. Before he left, he went back to the basement to squash the beef with Amy.
And immediately do that and started, you know, check for a pulse. When I glanced down there, I saw there looked like a upturned kitty litter pail. Huh. Because I'm like, like I said, it was just so, sure.
The officer asked if there were any signs that something like this might happen, but Jimmy said that he could never have seen this coming.
I get it now.
Spent all night kind of thinking and playing back what triggered what was.
Has she ever tried anything like this before?
Yeah.
Anything ever, like, we live a healthy lifestyle, we work out, we go rock climbing 3 times a week in Ann Arbor. We like cook meals at home. We grow our own vegetables out here. Money trouble. No, I mean, this is like the pinnacle of, best job I've ever had. I make great money. She's a stay-at-home mom. She takes care of the 5 cats, the pool, and is there for my daughter doing sports and activities.
Sure.
The officer then asked if he and his partner could do a more thorough search of the home, and Jimmy agreed. With the help of their new recruit, Louie, Jimmy's cat, the officer scoured every room in the household, hoping to find any clues that could explain last night's incident. They weren't able to find any bombshell evidence, but they did collect several items that belonged to Amy, including her computer and cell phone. Following their search, Officer Horn headed back outside to speak with Ashley. She was visibly shaken up by the incident, but the detectives needed to know if Amy and Jimmy had a history of violent altercations.
Were your mom and dad fighting at all yesterday that you recall?
No, but everything was normal when I left.
When you left? Okay. Is there a history of the, like, fighting or arguing or anything like that? Nothing ever? Okay.
The officer also asked about Amy's state of mind, but Ashley said that even though her mom was a deeply introverted person, she had always been emotionally stable. This interview wasn't as fruitful as the officers had hoped, but shortly after, they were approached by several of Amy's family members. They said that Jimmy waited 14 hours to tell them about the incident. As soon as they heard the news, they rushed over to the police department because they had an abundance of useful information for the police. The investigators learned that back in 1997, when Amy was just 13, she had a son named Caleb. Her parents looked after Caleb while she attended high school in Ocala, Florida. By the end of high school, she began dating Jimmy, who had no problem becoming a father figure to Caleb. When Amy was 19, they had Ashley, and from that point on, Amy stayed home to take care of the kids while Jimmy worked. However, according to Amy's family, this wasn't her choice. They believed that Jimmy was a controlling husband who didn't want Amy to become financially independent. He would monitor everything the family did, from their social media.
They're gonna call me Angel T. Sneeko. Oh wow, okay, never mind. I thought I knew comments. But damn, bro.
Activity to what they were eating throughout the day. He would also discipline the kids if he believed they were misbehaving, frequently taking things too far. Whenever Amy stood up to Jimmy, her opinion didn't seem to matter. Whatever Jimmy wanted, Jimmy got. So when Caleb turned 17, he left to stay with his grandparents. Jimmy retaliated, telling Amy that she was no longer allowed to speak with her family, including Caleb. One of the last times Caleb saw her was at his high school graduation a year before the incident. But other than that, Amy had minimal involvement in Caleb's life. All of this evidence was extremely damning for Jimmy. It wouldn't be a surprise if an abusive and controlling husband tried to murder his wife. But if the police wanted to bulletproof their case against Jimmy, they needed to answer one big question. What was Jimmy's motive? Unfortunately, before the investigators could answer this question, they received tragic news. On September 17th, 2018, after being unresponsive for 3 days, Amy was taken off of life support and pronounced dead. With a possible homicide now on their hands, the authorities pressed on with their investigation. They decided to look for answers in Amy's cell phone. In her text with Jimmy, his controlling behavior was on full display. He had somehow been tracking Amy's every move. He would frequently text Amy her exact location and ask her why she was there. Despite all of Jimmy's torment, Amy seemed completely fine in her other conversations. This evidence strengthened the case against Jimmy, but the detectives still couldn't pinpoint an exact motive. That was until they looked through a conversation with a man named George. George was a married man from the East Coast that Amy had met online and had been texting for the past 3 years. Based on the explicit content of the messages, it was clear that they were having an affair. Even on the day of the incident, Amy and George were consistently texting and calling each other. While Amy was having dinner with her family at 5:07 p.m., George texted her saying, "I wish we could be together right now." At 5:29 p.m., Amy responded with, "I'm excited to see you again." And remember when Amy began texting somebody during the argument at JR's Grill and Pub? It turns out that she was texting George, even with Jimmy sitting directly beside her. From these findings, a new theory emerged. Perhaps Jimmy had caught a glimpse of these text conversations and was overcome with anger, which ultimately led to him attacking Amy in the basement. The investigators were eager to ask Jimmy some more questions, but they ran into a small problem. Jimmy was nowhere to be found. It turns out that just a few days after the incident, Jimmy and Ashley packed their belongings, including their 5 cats, and headed back to their hometown, Ocala, Florida, to stay with family. Thankfully, the authorities were easily able to get in touch with Jimmy to arrange another interview. He told them that he would be back in Michigan in a few weeks to grab some of his stuff. Since the Tecumseh Police Department had limited personnel and resources, the Michigan State Police had taken over the investigation, and Detective Larry Rothman was put on the case. 1 month after Amy's death, he met Jimmy at the station for a formal interview. During his stay in Florida, Jimmy had plenty of time to reflect on his relationship with Amy, and he was forthright with the detective about his shortcomings.
It wasn't so inner focused and self-focused, and maybe I could have seen some things that were going on that maybe could have clued me into what my wife was in so much turmoil that I couldn't even see it. I mean, that's how it feels. Like, I don't even know who I am.
It's hard to believe this statement from Jimmy, because moments later, when asked to describe himself, he gives an awfully detailed answer.
Describe yourself. What kind of a person are you? I would say I'm a type A personality.
What does that mean? Describe yourself. I don't know, bro.
I like structure, organization. I'm ambitious. Always seeking to improve myself and others around me. That's why all this is so pressing to me, is because like I had really taken measures in the last couple of years to like make sure that myself, my family were like mentally fit, like mentally healthy, like pursuing things that not only get you physical, like,
yes, but you gotta
health.
make the girl work a little bit. Bro, he should have watched Andrew Tate, Sneeko, Zerka, and Myra Gaines all together. Not just one of them. That's my advice.
Others, being kind, making it, like I said, making the same thing, that type of person I am, making a positive impact on people.
Without a doubt, Jimmy's obsession with creating the perfect family was immensely toxic. However, Jimmy seemed to take pride in this toxic behavior, framing it as a strength. He believed that his role in the family was to hold them to a higher standard. No matter how much Jimmy painted himself as an upstanding family man, the detectives weren't buying it.
Looking back now, where you're at now, does anything pop out at you as...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's, I mean, my wife had some issues.
What kind of issues?
She struggled from, social anxiety, so, she's been like that for years. She's just an extremely shy, introverted person. She never developed relationships in Ocala. She didn't have any friends. She was playing video games compulsively, that World of Warcraft thing. That got out of hand, so she just sort of started isolating herself. And so I had taken measures when we got up here to help her break out of it.
Jimmy is painting himself as a valiant savior, guiding his wife away from her bad habits towards a healthy lifestyle. But as we mentioned earlier, everybody who was close to Amy said that Jimmy was the main cause of her isolation. While asking Jimmy about infidelity in the relationship, he revealed that Amy wasn't the only one cheating.
There was one time when I went to the Isle of Man and hooked up with this chick.
Anytime during your marriage, do you know if she was unfaithful to you?
I don't think that would be possible.
Why is that?
She didn't seem to have the capacity to, talk to people, man. I mean, she was, incredibly introverted.
Clearly, Jimmy underestimated Amy's charm. Later in the interview, the detective set the record straight, bluntly telling Jimmy that Amy was, in fact, having an affair.
That's my fear, bro.
What was your knowledge of her affair?
I don't think she had an affair. I have no idea. I wouldn't think it was possible.
There was a lot of stuff that she had tried to delete there, but, we're telling this other guy she loves him.
I feel like that's my best fear.
I'm not going to lie to you today, and I haven't. So
I'll just tell you right now, I don't believe it.
Jimmy seemed to be in denial, so the detective printed off some excerpts from Amy's conversations with George, some more risque than others.
The chats lead up to the 14th, the same day that this happened. Clearly there was something going on between these two people.
As someone who had a say in every aspect of Amy's life, he seemed completely blindsided by her secret life with George. He wanted more answers.
Can you pull phone records to see if there's any numbers that I can see that I don't recognize? And that, to me, is crushing to think that she even has some alternate life. I legitimately, I still don't all the way believe you guys. I'm sorry. I don't think that she has the capacity to do that. Like I said, this is the most
capacity,
shocking,
Rusty's.
I can't even process.
In a last-ditch effort to elicit a confession, the detective asked Jimmy if he would take a polygraph test. Jimmy agreed and maintained his innocence the entire time. Ultimately, the test results were inconclusive. The detective wrapped up the interview, less certain about Jimmy's involvement than before. Jimmy was allowed to leave, and he went back to Florida later that day. The police struggled to find any new leads, so they had no choice but to wait for the medical examiner to release Amy's autopsy report. That day finally came, 3 months after Amy's death. It was confirmed that the cause of death was strangulation asphyxiation, but the manner of death was undetermined, requiring additional investigation. The ball was back in Detective Rothman's court, but finding more evidence to determine whether or not this was a homicide was easier said than done.
Because they moved.
Honestly, we should have used
evidence is ruined. They moved.
We got distracted.
Honestly, we've been together for a while.
He meticulously looked through all of the evidence, including the body cam footage. He stumbled upon the moment that Officer Horn noticed how low the basement ceiling was, and he suddenly had an idea. Rothman reached out to a forensic engineering lab in Michigan and asked them to recreate the scenario Jimmy had supposedly stumbled upon. After many months of preparation, testing, and analyzing the results, the lab determined that under the same circumstances, her feet would have made contact with the ground.
Why?
A different forensic pathologist
because of the... I don't get it.
Reviewed the same test results, and they determined that her manner of death must have been a homicide. On October 16th, 2020, Jimmy was charged with one felony count of open murder. This meant that if the case went to trial, it would be up to the jury to determine the degree of homicide Jimmy is guilty of, anywhere from involuntary manslaughter to first-degree murder. By this point in the investigation, it appeared that Jimmy, who was still staying with his parents in Florida, had moved on entirely. In fact, he even had a new fiancée, and their wedding was just 5 days away. But before they could tie the knot, Jimmy was arrested and extradited back to Michigan.
On to the next one.
Once he was booked into jail, he was brought into a room to have his charges explained to him. When told that he could contact the investigators if he had any questions, Jimmy said something peculiar.
If you have any questions, feel free to get a hold of us, or they can contact us. Okay?
Just how you sleep at night. Oh.
Well, I guess I don't understand that question.
Okay.
A few weeks later, at his arraignment hearing, Jimmy pled not guilty. His bond was set at $10 million, and he was put behind bars. Leading up to his trial, his defense attorney Daniel Guerin released this statement. Mr. Allen vehemently asserts his innocence in this case, as he had absolutely nothing to do with Amy Allen's tragic death. He cooperated with police throughout the 2-year investigation and provided evidence and statements showing his innocence from the very beginning. He has been in jail for nearly a year for a crime he did not commit, and he misses his family dearly. He is looking forward to the evidence finally being shown to a jury of his peers so they can see clearly that he is innocent and did absolutely nothing wrong. In September of 2021, 3 years after Amy's death, his trial began. Prosecutor Angie Borders kicked off the opening statements. She said that her team was confident that the evidence would point the jury to a guilty verdict. Defense attorney Daniel Guerin delivered the defense's opening statement, saying that there was no substantial evidence to support the prosecution's theory, and their case did not add up.
The people want you to believe that Jimmy Allen, for reasons nobody explains or guesses or understands why, snaps after 15 years of marriage, brutally kills his wife, goes up into cover-up mode, does all of this cover-up, and then gets the police there at 8:52 to start showing them evidence of this hanging.
They also pointed to Jimmy's search history that night, suggesting that murder was the last thing on Jimmy's mind.
The phone searches they get from Jimmy's phone shows that he's looking at searches for Jim Carrey movies and other Showtime shows, the exact shows that he had told police that night that he had watched.
One of the key witnesses for the prosecution was Amy's son Caleb. He told the court about an altercation with Jimmy while he still lived at home.
I stood up, pushed him against the wall, and there was a second of fear that came over me, and I realized what I was doing, and I let up, and then I was spun around, or maybe I turned around, and then I was choked from behind on the floor for multiple seconds. It felt like forever during the incident, and I was gasping for air, grabbing for anything, trying to get away from him.
This story suggested that Jimmy had a history of choking people when he got angry. If he was willing to choke Caleb, it's reasonable to assume that he was willing to choke Amy as well. Several witnesses that were at the scene that night were also called to the stand, including first responders and neighbors. They all testified that Jimmy's over-the-top reactions seemed like he was putting on an act. Jimmy's behavior throughout the body cam footage supported this. There were several moments where he would be sobbing uncontrollably, but would instantly compose himself to answer the officer's questions.
I gotta talk to the cops.
On top of Jimmy's questionable behavior, Officer Horn also noted that Amy's injuries did not align with Jimmy's story.
I was definitely looking for any injuries, whether it be from a hanging or otherwise, and I really didn't see any sort of the typical injuries that I normally would have seen in a hanging, so I definitely took note of that.
Later in the trial, a hospital staff member that treated Amy agreed with Officer Horn's observations, saying that the lack of external injuries suggested foul play.
No visible injuries.
No visible injuries. Is that strike you as odd?
It was a red flag.
One witness that nobody expected was none other than Mystery Man George.
And was there an occasion where you came to know a person that named Amy Allen on the internet?
Yes, we spoke online often. We talked about life.
Mr. George,
we
let me
also,
see. Wow, why can I see
there was
Mr.
a little
George?
bit of sexual content. That's what we talked about.
For the most part, George and Amy communicated through text and video calls, but the more they got to know each other, the more eager they were to see each other in person.
Now, had you ever met Amy in person?
Yes, twice.
The first time the two met up was in spring of 2017 to grab some coffee. The second time was several months later when Amy met George in a hotel room.
I was here for work, and she had some free time, so she came to the hotel.
So you're at a hotel?
Yes,
Did things that happen at a hotel happen at that hotel?
some things, yes.
Apparently, George and Amy's love for each other only grew as time went on. Even on the day of her death, Amy showed no signs of wanting to slow down.
I wrote, I love you. And I wrote, I want more of you. And she wrote, I love you too. I'm ready to spend time with you in person. And I wrote, good. Let's do it. And then she wrote, end of October. And I wrote, I'm in.
Dr. Elizabeth Buck also played a crucial role in the prosecution's case. During her testimony, she took the jury through the extension cord experiment we mentioned earlier.
The first question that Detective Rothman asked was, can an extension cord suspend 140 pounds? The testing was performed. The answer is no.
According to the prosecution, the results of her tests were more than enough to debunk Jimmy's story. When it was the defense's turn to call witnesses, they had Jimmy's father testify. According to him, Jimmy didn't flee the state because he was guilty. It was because Jimmy's family urged him to stay with them in Florida.
He seemed somewhat composed, but totally shattered, and almost empty, if you would. I'd never seen him like that before or since. He was almost non-responsive. He seemed to have lost interest in anything.
Ashley also testified on her father's behalf. The day after the incident, she had said that her mother had always been stable. But now, 3 years later, her story had completely changed.
Did you notice anything from your vantage point that was a problem, that you behaviors or issues that you saw when your mom was drinking alcohol?
Two things, yes. My mother overindulged in alcohol frequently, and she became intoxicated very easily and frequently as well, which would cause her to be not herself at all. She would be meaner and more violent.
When Amy was placed under intensive care, her blood alcohol content was recorded at 0.09%, likely caused by the 2 or 3 drinks that she consumed at the bars that night. The defense said that this was proof of Amy's drinking problem and that she wasn't as chipper as the prosecution had suggested. They also questioned the forensic pathologist who claimed that this was a homicide. To dispute this notion, the defense had actually reached out to their own expert, Dr. Francisco J. Diaz. According to Dr. Diaz, since there was minimal bleeding to the strap muscles of the neck, no petechiae, and no evidence of defensive-type injuries, he believed that Amy's death was not the result of somebody else's actions. The defense had called all of their witnesses, but they had a lot more to say in their closing arguments. They said that the prosecution's case was utter speculation, and the fact that Jimmy had 0 defensive marks on him was proof of that.
Anyone puts you in a chokehold, you're going to scratch the you-know-what out of his arms. Because you're fighting for life, you're fighting for that air hunger, and you're trying to stay alive.
They also said that even though Amy and George's relationship seemed to be flourishing, it was actually just a fantasy, an escape from the dejected state of mind that plagued Amy's life.
You know, the people want to say this was sort of this thing she was looking forward to break free. It was 3 years. 3 years, and they have 3 years to meet, and they meet one time for 2 hours. She was not talking to her family. She was isolated. She didn't have a job. She was socially anxious. And that is not to beat up Amy Allen. It is to tell you that she was living sort of a double parallel life. And we believe the fuse was lit. And we had, unfortunately, isolation, drinking, odd behavior, the guilt of a very graphic and long-term affair unbeknownst to Jimmy and his daughter, that ultimately led to her very sad and tragic death on Friday, September 14th of 2018.
Both sides rested their case. Jimmy's fate was now in the hands of the jury. After about 6 hours of deliberations, they had their verdict.
You do say upon your oath that you find the defendant guilty of the lesser offense of second-degree murder.
After this verdict, Jimmy didn't seem to know what to do with himself. He wandered aimlessly for a bit, and when it was time to be booked into the jail, he bashfully waved goodbye to his family. On October 21st, 2021, Jimmy was sentenced to 20 to 45 years in prison in the Michigan Department of Corrections. He currently resides at the St. Louis Correctional Facility and will be eligible for parole in the year 2040.
Shit sad, huh?
Adobe Acrobat Studio is all new. What can PDF spaces with AI do? Do a sales invoice good enough to eat? Adobe Express brings the heat. Now we're talking. It's time to share. Every page, every doc, everything's right there. Now you can do that with the all-new Acrobat.
Opioid addiction gets between you and what you love. Once monthly Sublocade may help you move forward in your recovery. Sublocade, with counseling and psychosocial support, treats moderate to severe opioid addiction in adults started on an oral dose of buprenorphine or already on buprenorphine. Sublocade is just one dose that lasts all month long with no complete detox required. Buprenorphine should be started after the first signs of withdrawal.
Stop the vehicle!
Bring the army! Is this you, me? Him? Or one of you police officers?
It doesn't have to end this way, Max.
You ready for this?
Hey, bro, don't do it. Dude, don't do it, bro. I'm telling you right now. You're not missing this department. He's got scissors.
Following a domestic dispute, Fresno police respond to a man in crisis who has reached his breaking point. As tensions rise, officers call for peace, but an ultimatum sends the night spiraling toward tragedy.
The body camera doesn't pick up emotion. It doesn't pick up the level of fear that you feel. The only way that this incident was going to end was how it did.
The following is based on official police records, and some of the footage has never been seen before until now. Just after 3 a.m. on November 4th, 2023, dispatchers in Fresno, California receive a call to 911.
911, state your emergency.
Hi, I need you to please come to my apartment. My ex's name is Maximiliano.
Who else is there besides the two of you?
Nobody, it's just me and him.
And he doesn't have any weapons right now?
No, I don't know whatever's in my kitchen.
Okay. Is he drunk or high?
He's drunk. He just walked out of my apartment and
Does he have access to a car?
Yes, he does. He has a Tesla, and he just walked out with my bottle of tequila. Oh my God! I don't know if he maybe grabbed something from the kitchen when he grabbed the bottle. I don't want to walk outside. I don't want to see if he did.
And don't keep yourself safe. Help on the way, okay?
I think he's getting into his Tesla right now. I see him.
Okay.
He's going in.
Let me know if he leaves, okay?
He's in his car. I can see from outside the window he's putting his seatbelt on, but I know he's been drinking. His car is on. Okay. He's backing out. He's speeding. He drove off really fast.
The man she described as her ex would later be identified as her husband, 33-year-old Maximiliano Max Sosa Jr., who isn't at the apartment when officers arrive. She explains the two had a heated argument just before he left.
We've been separated since February.
Okay.
And I've had a thing with this guy, and it was like the reason why we basically split up. And so he picked me up from Tower with my friends. And when we got here, I guess he was going through my phone and he saw that I was still in contact with this other guy. And he took off. And then when I kind of like realized what was going on, I saw that he had gone and I walked out, and then he walked in and he grabbed a bottle of tequila. And then he said that he was going to kill him. And I don't think he wouldn't actually do it. I know that it was all. No, he wouldn't.
Did he get physical with you at all tonight or anything?
No, just when I walked out, he told me to come inside, and he like brought me inside. But yeah,
so
he's never been physical or violent like that. He's hurt.
Right.
I don't think he'll know where this guy lives, but he came back and said that he was lucky that the guy's place, like his gate was locked. I want him to be involved, and he has like nothing to do with this.
As they begin to canvass the parking lot for signs of Max's car, it suddenly appears without warning, catching everyone off guard.
Stop! Stop the vehicle!
Vehicle is leaving the apartment complex. Turning north on Dante, approaching Polk.
509, try to keep eyes on it.
532, just for info, he tried to run me over. 530, lost that vehicle.
While patrol units continue searching for Max, Officer Ayers quickly returns to the apartment.
Is he here?
No, he's not here. He's on the phone, though. His best friend is on the line.
Hey, this is Officer Ayers of the Fresno Police Department.
Yeah, yourself. All right, I don't give a anymore.
What's going on, Max? What's going on, dude? Why did you try to run an officer over with your vehicle? He hung up on me.
But it isn't long before he's back on the line.
Stop calling him, ma'am.
Where are you?
Can I talk to him?
Texting me enough, haven't you, huh? Asking me to come over. After you've been talking to me, haven't you?
Hey, Max, Officer Ayers again.
Go yourself, officer.
Hey, I'm just trying to come to a peaceful resolution here. Okay, you calling him is not helping. It's going to keep getting him in an angry mood, okay?
Rather than try to call Max again, she instead reaches out to one of his friends.
He's being really disrespectful, and I'm scared he's gonna do something that's gonna get himself hurt or killed. Sorry, this is not your responsibility. It's not. I was hoping maybe you would be able to get through to him.
Can I talk to you without him being on the phone?
Yes, I gotta go. Bye.
Has he ever tried to do anything like this before?
No.
Has he ever been arrested for anything?
Never.
Officer Ayers reaches out to Max once again by phone.
You can meet up somewhere with us. We can have a peaceful.
You don't understand the that I've been through. I don't give a who you are, who you think you are. You do not understand the struggles that I've been through, and I don't understand the struggles that you've been through. So I'm not judging you, so you don't get to judge me. No peaceful resolution.
I don't want anybody else to get hurt.
Life for this goddamn woman.
I understand that, Max, and I'm sorry that you feel the extent that you do to be doing what you're doing right now. But I really think we could come to a peaceful resolution if you're willing to meet us somewhere.
No. It's my life or his. You either let me find him and fight him fist to fist, or you're gonna have to kill me.
You could at least give us a chance, Max.
No, you ain't got no chance. My fate is sealed. You want to know why? Because I already seen my death before this night.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry you feel the way.
There are world that people don't understand, and unfortunately, I have something that was passed down in my bloodline, and I'm able to see. Unfortunately, that was going to happen. I seen this coming. I didn't want to believe it.
I understand that, Max, but I think we could really help you if you just tell me where you are.
You can't, brother. No, you can't.
Where are you right now, Max?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can't save them all. By the way, you guys suck at chasing people, dude.
When his Tesla is once again spotted by police, officers pursue.
Put on the call that Pitt is authorized.
Copy, Pitt is authorized.
Going westbound veterans from Riverside.
This is frustrated, bro.
I tried to run over one of your cops. I don't give a dude. I want blood tonight. You understand that? I want blood. If it's gonna be my blood, that mother's blood, or one of your officers' blood, you guys decide. That's it.
But we don't want anybody to get hurt, Max.
Just let him fit, yo, bro. At this point,
you understand that? There's no.
At this point, is literally 1-on-1, supervised by the cop, cage fight to the death. Oh no, he doesn't want death. He wants blood. So let him fight.
Way around it. Someone's gonna die tonight.
With threats escalating,
I think they should legalize that, especially for this moment right here. I think brawl supervised by like 20 officers, 10 on that side, 10 on this side, and just go at it.
Sir Ayers calls for another unit to respond to the apartment. Once backup arrives, he attempts to reach through to Max once more.
Hey, Max, it's Officer Ayers again.
No, go yourself, my guy, right? I already told you. You ain't got nothing to say to me. Nothing's gonna change my mind. My mind is made. Do you understand that? Quit wasting your time. Go to sleep. Go hug your wife, your girlfriend, whatever the got. And church, okay?
Max, I'm just trying to help you, buddy.
No. Go yourself. Go through her phone, because she's probably cheating on you too, my guy. These days ain't loyal. You understand that? The heart wants what the heart wants, all right? And there's nothing you can do about that. Nothing in your stupid book, nothing in your stupid education, nothing you got in your pocket, nothing you got in your brain. There is nothing you can do. When a man reaches rock bottom, that's it. Do you understand that?
Yes, Max, and I understand how you're feeling tonight.
Talking, my guy. Shut up and hang up. okay? I keep talking. Shut the up and hang up the goddamn phone. Ring the army. Is it you, me, him, or one of you police officers? I'm not going to tell you again.
While Officer Ayers continues the conversation outside, his colleague works to determine where Max might be heading.
Do you guys have shared children together? Where's your shared children at?
My mom's house.
Your mom's house? Does he know that? Does he know that?
Yeah.
He knows that.
He hasn't.
That's not it, Max. He hasn't mentioned it whatsoever?
Like, not that he wants to go see them.
What do you mean by that? Do you...
I'm gonna come after you. I don't know where the are, so hang with the goddamn phone. You suck at your goddamn job. Try something else, okay?
Please don't have eyes on it.
No, we keep losing him. We keep losing him. Yeah.
But a sudden call over the radio puts both officers on high alert.
Making a southbound turn on Dante.
Copy, southbound Dante.
So he's heading back this direction. Yeah. So Boyd's over here. Southbound on Dante. So they probably passed right by through here. Just for info, when I was on the phone with him, he said he was going to come after me. He didn't know where I was, he said, but I was going to double check.
The two officers head outside to scan the parking lot, but see no sign of Max's vehicle. When they return, they notice that he's back on the phone with his wife.
Please just tell me where you're at.
You should put him on speaker.
He's gonna catch me, but he's not gonna catch me. He's not gonna catch me. Hey, I want you to know that tonight I died. Alright? Tonight I or one of these cops dies and I'm gonna
Stop.
She's sorry.
know that.
Yo, I haven't heard her. You really me crash. I haven't heard her say sorry once.
Congratulations, you won.
Let's not do that. Let's not answer the phone anymore. Yeah.
Build a website you love with Wix,
Brody,
where your
not
words
even one time.
create your brand.
In an
She could, like, obviously, she probably said that before. You should see it now.
instant, the search for Max comes to an abrupt end.
Who are you? You ready for this? Hey, bro, don't do it. Dude, don't do it, bro. I'm telling you right now. Max.
Were you the one that was talking to me, bro?
Max.
Talking about
Max.
I did it 31 to see you in the apartment. He's got scissors.
Hey, do what you want.
Get back.
We can talk it out.
No, we can't.
Why can't we talk it out? Do it for your daughter. Do it for your daughter.
Stop, Jack. At least do your research.
Okay.
My daughter, I don't have a daughter.
Okay, then
I
I'll
wish I
try.
had a daughter, but this you
I
know,
need you to
school.
Alright, guy, but I need you to realize.
Yeah, guy, this is what I want to do
Then
to
just
him.
drop it.
But I'm going to do
Just
it to
drop
you
it.
or him. So you guys decide.
Drop it, dude. I'm telling you right now. Drop it. Don't do this. I don't want to shoot you.
No, it's done.
I don't want to
seen
shoot you. I do
It's
not.
done. This is what you wanted. Stop it. This is what you wanted.
Two, we need unitary code 3.
Pop it, dude. You
I
ready
don't
for
want
this?
I don't want to shoot you. Stop.
You don't want to shoot me, then why the doing this?
Because you have scissors, bro.
Then why doing this?
We came here just to check up on you.
Get back, bro. Shoot me. This is done. This is done.
Ma'am, sit down.
This is done.
Sit down.
No. You decided that. I gave you everything. I gave you everything.
Damn.
And this is how you hate me.
Come on, Max. We can talk this out, bro.
No, we can't. My guy. No, we can't. No, we can't.
Teaser that nigga. Don't shoot him. Teaser. Make him shock. Cause he's in shock, so make him, like, I don't know, give him an extra boost.
Talking to you or you on the phone?
Max,
It was
stop.
Max, don't do this, brother.
You can't.
Don't do this, bro. I don't want to have to do this, okay?
You can do it, my guy. It's gonna be stop, please.
Have you shot anybody before? Max, have you shot anybody before? But have you shot anybody before? Max, don't make me do this, brother. Have you shot anybody before? Max, don't make me do this. Max.
Backup arrives and takes position just outside the apartment door, with more officers on their way.
You do not know
It doesn't.
the struggles that I went for her. Struggles that I controlled everything I cared about away from you.
He deep down doesn't want to die. Cause he could get that scissors, you know, but
That's how you pay me?
Got one at gunpoint. Has the scissors in his right hand.
Stop, please, Max.
This is how it ends. This is what you wanted. This is what you wanted.
Max.
This is what you wanted. Hey, by the way, my cousin, he works for Orange Cove. He's a sergeant out there. Oh, really? Yeah. So, sorry you guys have to do this, but it's going to happen this way.
Listen, if you don't want to talk to us, how about you talk to one of my other partners? How about that?
No, I don't want to talk to anybody. Hey, look it. My fate is sealed, my guy. My fate is sealed. I am rock bottom. There's absolutely nothing you're going to do here. It's either you give me that here right now, and I take his life, or you take my life. It's either his life, my life, or one of your guys.
He's not here, Max.
Exactly. So it's going to be my life or you guys. That's it. That's all it's going to come down to. That's all it's going to come down to.
Can we talk?
No, we can't talk. Because I am done with this, dude. I have tried so goddamn hard, and especially for you.
Exactly. There you go. That's a real nigga. I told you. Taser that nigga. All you gotta do is like come at me, bro. On some new shit.
I tried so hard. Where you going?
Wait. All right, I get that.
No,
all right.
You can go out that way. I'll let you go out that way.
You want to let me go out?
Yeah, I'll let you go out.
She has to come out with me, though.
No, I'm not going to hurt her. That's my boy's mom. I'm not going to hurt her.
Okay.
I'm not going to hurt her.
Let her
You
go
don't
in.
worry about her.
Okay.
It's just, you want to go out there with them? I want you guys to shoot me.
No, I don't want to shoot you. That's the thing.
Go out there. No,
That's
you're
the
going to
thing.
shoot me. You're going to shoot me.
Please don't hurt him.
Stop. Hey, chill out. Chill out.
When the tasers deployed and fails to subdue him, 3 officers discharge their weapons, and Max falls forward onto the pavement.
Let go. Taser shots fired. Officers are code 4. They have a suspect down.
This man should not have died today. Bro, I don't know what they gotta do to that taser. Where's the taser at? The taser. Gotta put it up more voltage or something. That taser has to take down Brock Lesnar, a gorilla. You know, silverback gorilla. We have enough of those. Go to Amazon and test it. Has to take down a silverback gorilla. Bro, let me see. We gotta do something, bro. Top teaser. Cops teaser. Deeper teaser. Voltage. If the voltage, so depending, I don't know. Okay, so this is the often. So now, how much can human handle? Not handle. I feel like these are two different questions. And then this one too. They haven't even tested it? Like a guinea pig or something. Like a human being? There's no way it can What? Okay, there you go. So 10. So like I don't know, bro. There's gotta be something. Bro, I feel like you gotta go to Amazon and test it out on gorillas. There's something. Yeah, I don't know, bro. They gotta like do something. I think that's the best way. If they go to the Amazon and test it on some gorillas. This is ridiculous.
Hold on. You guys good? Yeah. Good.
Officers taking turns to prevent.
We're not together. I told him we're not.
Who was hurting?
That boy was hurting, bro. He was not. He was not ready to die.
And angry.
Used.
I get that, like, probably able to read the need, get like a less lethal.
But I'm sorry, Max.
I'm proud about when it comes to that situation is the fact that all of us are okay. Once we saw him at the front door, it seemed like I just knew that the only way that
By the way, you guys are fucking sick. That was hilarious. Bro. That was a wrongful death, bro.
You said you see blood?
Police officers have just arrived to conduct a welfare check on a father who has failed to pick up his daughter from school.
My daughter was supposed to be picked up by her father today.
That father was Dr. Todd Morgan, a beloved professor at the University of Cleveland and a devoted father of two. To friends and students, he seemed the very picture of respectability. But behind the polished exterior, Dr. Morgan was concealing a far more scandalous side of his life.
Everything strange you. Just seems odd.
Weird. I told my husband, I said, that guy's fucking weird.
On the afternoon of April 19th, 2023, Mary Ann called Hudson Police, asking them to conduct a welfare check on her daughter's father, Dr. Todd Morgan. He had failed to pick up their 4-year-old Cecilia from school, something wildly out of character for the devoted father of two. Though she and Todd were separated, Mary Ann took this as a sign to act fast.
Hi, I was wondering if I'd be able to request a wellness check on someone. Okay, what's going on? So my daughter was supposed to be picked up by her father today, and I got a call from the school that she was still at the school, so I ended up picking her up. They tried to contact him, and they tried to contact, I believe, his I tried to call him a couple times and haven't received anything back. Does he live in this city? Yes. What's his address? No, I don't think he would forget his daughter from.
When you call him, does it go straight to voicemail or does it ring?
It rings.
Officers were dispatched to Todd's home in Hudson at around 7 p.m. Arriving as a pair, they first made an attempt to call out to him.
When there was no response, they peered through the windows. But what they saw inside made both officers bolt towards the back door.
You said you see blood? Go run back. Get EMS out here. Oh boy. There's a lot of blood. Party looks to be... might have fell.
Todd was sprawled inside, covered in his own blood, almost unrecognizable.
Small business owners across the country are using Amazon to pick up, store, and deliver their products.
Yeah, good boy.
Hot diggity dog, John.
At first glance, to officers, he seemed to have suffered a gunshot wound to his head that indicated suicide. But something about the scene immediately felt wrong.
Oh, wow. Looks like a suicide. Be a possible suicide. Let's make sure the scene's safe first. Let's clear the house. 21, let's clear the house first.
Shell casings were scattered on the floor near Todd's body, but the gun was nowhere to be found.
It's a bullet casing here, which that's weird. Why is there a bullet casing here? Anybody in here? Hudson Police!
While searching the house, officers spotted a single shell casing at the bottom of the staircase, the same caliber as those near Todd's body by the back door.
I don't see a weapon. That's why I'm thinking something else. I don't see a weapon of any kind. That's weird. Why is there... This makes me think someone shot him.
When officers reached the master bedroom, they were taken aback. The room was a mess. Empty bottles of alcohol, snack wrappers, and condoms scattered all over the room. The kids' rooms, however, was a different case. They were messy, yes, but not ransacked. A few loose bills and coins were scattered on the floor, alongside a cracked piggy bank that seemed strangely out of place. Nothing else appeared to have been searched or stolen, leaving the scene feeling more unsettling than explanatory. In the end, the search of the house raised more questions than it answered.
You found money?
Change. Piggy bank knocked over.
Huh. Well, if it was a robbery, the house would be more ransacked, right? Are we... Say, it's pretty bad in there. Yeah, there's shell casings in the house all over, but there's no weapon.
Yeah.
So he's been sitting there for a while. That blood's dried up.
Okay.
Can you tell me what you think this is, Sarge? I mean, because it looks weird. We checked the window. We saw him laying here.
Hold on.
Explanatory. In the end, the search of the house raised more apples in the case.
This is a robbery. It's pretty bad. Can you tell me what you think this is, Sarge? I mean, because it looks weird. We checked the window. We saw him laying here. We went in and we made sure that there's nobody else in the house. But there's 2 casings here. There's actually 3 casings here, and there's 1 casing over by the stairs.
Okay.
Let me know what.
Do you guys? Is it?
I don't
you
even
have to hook them up.
I don't even think so.
As long as it is obvious and apparent, and somebody can tell me if he is cold or stiff. No.
The detectives noticed something else. The back door frame was damaged and partly ripped away, with a piece of the lock broken off and lying on the deck. It looked like someone had forced their way in.
Who's that?
But was that damage done before the police arrived, or was it from their frantic attempt to reach Todd?
Did you see that? Did that come off when we opened the door? I'm not sure.
Cold, obvious signs of death.
Okay.
Through the head.
Okay.
So I can do it.
41-year-old Dr. Todd Morgan lived in a quiet suburb known for its low crime rate, making his death all the more shocking. Todd was adventurous and academically driven. After a doctorate in business administration from Kent State.
Was that me?
And academically driven. After a doctorate in business administration.
Oh, they just not that official video. Brody screen records.
From Kent State, he returned to Cleveland State University as a respected and well-liked professor. Outside the classroom, Todd was a devoted father of two. He filled his time with his kids, playing games, going to the movies, and enjoying the outdoors. He often said that they were the most important part of his life. But in April of 2023, that life was tragically cut short. As Dr. Todd Morgan's body was taken for autopsy, the detectives stayed behind, combing through the house once more. It was during this careful re-examination that they spotted something odd.
Yes, so that would have been...
There were footprints imprinted into Todd's blood. They trailed across the floor and out towards the driveway. Now, at first, the police feared that one of their own had stepped into the blood and had accidentally contaminated the scene. So they immediately began checking everyone's shoes.
What's your boot look like underneath? Oh, okay. No, it doesn't match any of our boots.
Can I see the bottom of your boot real quick? Just to see. No. Yeah. Can I see the bottom of your shoe?
I tried to tippy-toe around.
We just have there's shoe prints coming out. We just want to make sure they don't match.
I tried.
The bloody footprints led down the back steps, straight toward where Todd's Porsche SUV was parked. But something that the detectives found inside the professor's bedroom hinted at a discreet secret. How could this discreet secret be connected to his murder?
Pretty hard, but I didn't yank. Yeah. It felt like it was just unlocked. It would just open easily. There's shoe prints on the wood with blood. There's a gunshot wound to the side of the head. Looks like the left side, maybe the right side. I don't know if that's the exit wound on the left side. There's 3 shell casings by the body, and there's 1 shell casing by the stairwell in the front of the house. So.
This is why I stopped shopping on Amazon, and you should too. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch this first.
Watch this. I can show you how to get the sweetest deals online when you shop from major retailers like Amazon and Target. You can drop prices automatically. I can show you how, but I can't do it for you. People are saving real money doing this. $160 million in the last year across thousands.
Detectives were still troubled by the damaged back door. They needed to know if the splintered frame was their own doing, or it was something that had happened before they had arrived. After carefully tracing the break, they were relieved to find the other broken off pieces on the porch, confirming that the damage hadn't come from them.
The piece of this door would be out here somewhere. Oh, wait, there it is.
Oh, okay, then that definitely wasn't us. Because he did not hit it. He did not pull it that hard.
You would have seen that fly all the way over here, right?
Yeah.
That paramedic never stepped over there.
There's the door.
A detailed search of the house revealed details that suggested new possible motives behind the tragedy. Scattered around the house were expensive items, laptops, tablets, and other valuables, all left untouched. Even Todd's Porsche SUV sat outside with the keys still inside. Nothing about the scene suggested a typical robbery. When the autopsy results came back, investigators learned that Todd had been shot 7 times with a 9mm handgun. 1 round was fired at close range, and 2 struck his clavicle, causing fatal injuries. The evidence made it clear this was personal. But before we continue, at biggest weight, thousands free multipliers in reform and through mobile way.
So that's 1, 2,
3 on the front.
Yeah, and then there's 3 casings on the ground.
Investigators recovered a total of 8 shell casings throughout the house. Inside Todd's home, they also found multiple firearms, an unloaded shotgun, a 9mm handgun buried under clothes in a closet, and a second 9mm pistol in the master bedroom, concealed beneath a Spider-Man mask on a nightstand shelf. The second pistol was loaded, with 1 round in the chamber and 4 in the magazine. All of the firearms were collected for testing. After carefully combing through the house, the detectives turned their attention outward, going door to door to ask neighbors if they had seen or heard anything unusual. The first neighbor that detectives spoke with was Linda, whose daughter had babysat for the family. Her interview, however, struck them as a little unusual.
Here, I met him, and my daughter babysat for his kids a couple of times. And then after that, I haven't really talked to him.
Okay. Did you happen to notice anything that's odd the last couple days at this house? Unknown weird vehicles, weird noises?
Odd, but,
okay.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. That's why I'm wondering, because my daughter babysat for him, and I always said, there's something weird. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want my daughter to baby because I just felt that something was weird. But he's got 2 little kids, so I mean, if he's got 2 little kids here, I don't know.
The kids live with him normally?
He said he had the kids like part-time.
Okay, so because I know he had a divorce.
He had a divorce.
Okay.
But he had some girlfriend too.
Okay.
I saw her and I met her. I forget her name. I think she lives like in Aurora or something. I don't know.
Okay.
So. But, you know, this was a while ago. Maybe they broke up. I don't know.
Okay.
And, I mean, my daughter babysat for him like twice. The kids came over. She babysat, I think, at my house. I think she might have worked once. But I don't know. And he said he never let anyone in the house because he said he was gutting it. So, and that's all. And then he said he worked from home. He wanted my daughter to babysit while he ran errands and stuff. That was it. Okay. And I just wondered, what does this guy do? He has a Porsche, but he's working from home. I don't really know anything about it.
Okay. Has he ever mentioned anything odd to you before?
You know anything about him, but you know like 2 things? You do know something.
Like, this is how, but I told my husband, I said, that guy's fucking weird. He goes, what do you mean? I go, I just got a bad feeling, and I don't want Celia to babysit for him. Because, you know, if I get a feeling, you know, it's like intuition.
Next door to Todd's house, the detective spoke with another neighbor.
Sir? I'm Officer Brown, Hudson Police Department.
Hi there.
Hi, I was wondering if, when the last time you saw your neighbor...
Todd?
Yeah, have you...
Well, I see him pretty regularly. We're in and out.
Yeah.
You know, we cross paths.
Okay.
Haven't seen anything, and I'm retired. Recently retired. I'm here all the time.
You're here. You haven't heard anything.
Haven't
seen
heard
anything.
a peep.
Okay. All right.
Is everything all right?
Yeah, we're just.
Okay. He seems like a nice guy. I mean, he's been here a year and a half.
Year and a half.
Kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
But while most neighbors had little to offer about the day of the crime, married couple Eugene and Sherry shared something that the detectives couldn't ignore.
Next to the Porsche. They were in the car. I mean, it was there.
The Porsche?
No, it was next to the Porsche.
Okay.
And it was there when I woke up this morning at 5 o'clock. You know, as I walked.
The car was already there.
The car was already there. The person was due. Yeah, when I woke up.
Okay.
But at 7:15, 7:20, I heard, and then I saw someone come out of the house, go to the car, open up the car, was there for a while, and then took something back into the house, like a package or a box, it looked like.
Okay.
And then came back out, not running, but walking fast.
Quick paced?
Yes.
At what time was that?
It had to be 7:20.
At 7:20.
Yeah, it all happened within a couple of minutes.
That was, you heard the
2 shots, I'm assuming. I don't know. And then I thought someone was banging on something. And then a little pause, and then 3 more, 4 more. And then they got in the car and they left, but they didn't like leave fast. They just were like going down the driveway.
Okay. Can you describe that car?
It was a smaller car, light colored, maybe a light blue, light gray. I couldn't get the make of it.
Did you see the person that was driving?
No, I didn't. I mean, no, I did not. Okay. I did not see the person.
Okay.
My wife thinks it was long hair.
We were in different places, so I was finishing my career here. I teach in Springfield, so I had a meeting this morning, so I had to be at work early.
So I was finishing up my coffee in his office room up there. I think you were coming out of the bathroom. So we have this big, like we have a balcony right there.
Sure.
So he was coming back to his office from the bathroom. And I said, did you hear that? And he goes, what? And I go, I don't know, it kind of sounded like gunshot. But then you live in Hudson, you don't, you just, in the perspective,
Sure.
like it would never in a million years. And there's cars up there all the time that have popping noises and trucks. So
Sure.
I didn't think anything of it. I heard boom, boom. And then I thought it was boom, boom, but there was a little bit of pause. But I was not even thinking it was gunshot until after it happened. So then I saw somebody come out of the house with long hair to the shoulders. I couldn't even tell you if it was male or female, to be honest with you. It looked like a smaller frame, not a big person.
Back at the scene, further analysis brought a strange realization. The back door hadn't been broken into from the outside. The damage came from the inside. That made no sense. Who would break their way out of a house that they already had access to? And besides Todd, who even had access to his home?
Girlfriend.
When I got up, because that's my bathroom mirror, so I get ready right there and it's a clear shot. It was a car I'd never seen. I got up at, I left the house at 7:23 today because I'm thinking I'm going to be late for my 7:40 meeting. So that's how I know what time it was when I left the house. So that person came out, like Jean said, grabbed something from the car. I thought it was more like a package. He thought it was like a box. Again, we weren't putting anything in perspective. It's just what we walked as passing by. And then the person took something back into the house, came back out, and then just drove away. And Jean even commented like,
this is besides the point. I want a life like this. This life
oh, there
seems so
couldn't have
cool.
been anything. They're not in a rush. So,
And how long were they, once they returned into the house, how long were they there for?
I mean, it
No,
was just us.
it was like they
Walk in,
went
walk
in,
back out.
Yeah.
threw something
Yeah.
on the floor, and
I couldn't even tell you after we heard that boom boom what time we was at, like right away. I don't even remember.
And that car was sitting in the driveway when you guys woke up at 5.
Fortunately, Eugene and Sherry's Ring camera offered their first solid lead. It had captured an image of a car near Todd's house that day, so they turned the footage over to the detectives.
But that,
Okay, so that's the car.
yeah, I don't know if you're going to be able to see anything from that or whatever.
Okay. I'll give this back to you. I'll go tell.
Okay, I'm not sure how to.
Yeah.
And then it jumps to 7:30 and it's gone.
And it's gone.
Yeah.
So what time is that? Right.
6:50.
50.
Yeah.
Okay. And then 7. It's gone.
Yeah. Well, the next spot on here is
7:30.
so there's a gap.
Okay.
And it's gone at 7:30.
Following procedure, detectives need to deliver the news of Todd's death to his ex-girlfriend, Mary Ann, the same woman who had first called 911. Given her closeness to the case, detectives knew that her role and perspective would need to be carefully considered.
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet, it's this dope tech from Wix.
Do you know Todd?
I'm just boyfriend of Mary.
Okay.
So, Todd, we found Todd dead today. So,
And any explanation?
we're still in ongoing investigation. We have the detectives looking into it right now.
Yeah, as we find out more, we can, obviously let you guys know what more of what's going on. But right now it is an investigation. It's under investigation, so.
At the residence?
At his
Can you
house.
tell us anything?
Yeah.
At his home, we found him dead on
Yeah.
the home.
When's the last time you heard from him?
It was a text on Saturday, maybe. I'd have to look at my phone.
You need your phone?
Text on Saturday.
Yeah, thank you, sir, if you don't mind.
You need it?
Yeah, thank you.
But so he's required to do an eye sober device.
What's that?
It's to he'll breathe into it and it reads whether he's had a drink or not.
For the vehicle?
Just any.
Oh, wow, anything at all, okay.
And the last report I got was from yesterday at 7 o'clock in the morning.
You get reports from
Yeah,
the
it
ISO?
emails
No
the
kidding.
results.
You got a result for that test yesterday.
Yes, I can pull it up.
Does it give numbers or just say if it's positive or negative for alcohol?
It does give numbers.
Okay.
What's this test called again?
Eye sober device.
Sober? So you knew he was alive yesterday, right? Okay. Does he have any strange friends or anything? Anything weird happen yesterday, you know?
Not that I know of.
While Marianne was initially considered a suspect, she quickly provided a solid alibi. She had dropped off their daughter at school and was at work at the time of the murder. But before leaving, she shared one more crucial piece of information. Todd had recently said that he felt threatened by his ex-wife's new boyfriend, a lead that the detectives knew that they couldn't ignore.
What?
His ex was dating.
Boyfriend.
Wait a minute. Let's go back. Hold on.
Perspective would need to be carefully considered.
Who is this?
You know Todd?
I'm just boyfriend of Mary.
Go back. We gotta go back. Who's who right now, gang?
7:30.
Following procedure, detectives need to deliver the news of Todd's death to his ex-girlfriend.
Ex-girlfriend, the one who called
Marianne, the same woman who had first called 911.
So, shh. Okay, now I get it. So she's his baby mama, but not the ex-wife. And he's the boyfriend. Okay, I get it.
Wife's new boyfriend, a lead that the detectives knew that they couldn't ignore.
His ex was dating someone that he said felt threatened by her and him ever having to exchange anything in person.
Okay.
So they would meet.
They would meet at like a police department or a common area.
It's his girlfriend's.
His ex-wife's boyfriend.
His other ex-wife's.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Marianne also told detectives something more personal. Todd's first marriage ended after he had an affair with one of his students. That relationship ended quickly, but this revealed a complicated side to Todd's life. While the detectives were busy with interviews, ballistics testing came back on the firearms that were taken from Todd's home. Every gun was legally registered in his name. But oddly, none of them, not even the two 9mm handguns, matched the weapon that was used.
What you got the license for then?
Used to kill him. Then the detectives received a critical lead. On the morning of April 19th, at 7:21 a.m., a 911 call had been placed from a cell phone at Todd's address.
Huh?
The line went silent. No one spoke. Dispatchers later said that this wasn't unusual. Accidental calls like that happen often. But the timing was hard to ignore. The call came at almost the exact moment that neighbors reported hearing a gunshot. Could it have been Todd's desperate attempt to call for help? Hudson's 911 center believed that it was an accidental SOS call, the kind that's triggered when a phone's power button is pressed 5 times. But while they expected the call to track back to Todd, it was traced, and the phone returned with the name of Terriana Siobhan Denise Peschel, a woman based in Akron. This information came with a deeply troubling history. That name belonged to someone who was no stranger to law enforcement. But how was she connected to the case? Or better yet, how was she involved with Todd? Terriana matched the description given by the neighbor. Small in stature, long dark hair, and driving a silver car, the same type that was seen near Todd's house.
Is that her
Detectives traced the phone to an address.
girlfriend?
But when they arrived, the interaction was far from simple.
How you doing? Was she in trouble? Well, you talk to her. Oh, okay. I definitely let her know.
You tell her to call the Hudson Police Department? Hudson Police Department, Hudson, Ohio.
Okay, I sure will.
What friend she's staying with?
I don't know, man. It's some friend. I mean, she's a friend. You know, look like a little girlfriend. You know, she's a young girl. You know, I'm an older man, and you know, I'm just getting my but it ain't all like that. You know.
What can you tell me about?
Sir, you mind if we come to the house to check just to make sure she's not here?
Hell no, you know what time it is. I'm in the bed. My dog barking. I'm my grandkids upstairs in the bed. Y'all think y'all want to walk through my dog's house? Hell no.
The homeowner insisted that Terriana didn't live there and refused to let the police inside. Unable to get a warrant that night, the detectives had to back off. But they weren't done. Tracking her movements, they eventually found Terriana at her sister's home in the Envision apartment complex. There, she was placed under arrest and brought in for questioning. It is important to note that Tariana Paschel was not a typical suspect, and this wasn't her first brush with detectives. Back in 2021, a 9mm cartridge found with Tariana matched one that was found at an unsolved Cleveland homicide. In that case, she was the registered owner of the gun and the ex-girlfriend of the victim. Tariana had gotten off the hook then by pointing fingers at another ex-boyfriend, and with no solid evidence tying her to the murder, prosecutors couldn't charge her. Detectives, on the other hand, believed that she was the shooter, so they vowed that if she ever crossed their desks for another crime again, they weren't going to let her walk. And now, here she was, tied to another violent death. But was she really guilty this time?
Okay, I'll be back there in about 5 minutes, okay? Okay, you need anything? Are you okay? Okay, I'll be right back.
Were you recently injured in a car accident? Look at this check for $160,000.
Okay.
That's better. Tariana, I'm Detective Walker. We can start on your hand, okay? But, I mean, looking at his face, you remember this guy, right? You don't really
Tariana began her interrogation flat out denying that she had ever been to Hudson. What she didn't realize was that the detectives were already several steps ahead of her. By the way, if you're finding this video interesting so far, do us a favor. Please make sure to hit like and subscribe and help us get to 1 million subscribers. We're almost there. Now, let's dive back in.
So here's what's interesting about these two photos, right? Okay, these two photos were actually on your phone. On my phone? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Shit, my dumb ass.
They weren't on my phone. You actually typed in a search for this guy, and you viewed this image on your phone. You also did a search for 320 West Streetsville Street, and you viewed this image on your phone. We're giving you an opportunity here to talk to us. We need to know what happened. Okay, and I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on. What do you have? I don't know what's going on. Whose phone is this? How was I take my daughter's phone? Whose phone is this? That's my phone. That's your phone. Whose phone is this? My daughter's phone. Daughter's phone. How long has your daughter had this phone? For a while. For a while? A while.
For a while.
A week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. No, I'm y'all messing with my kids at this point. Oh, hell no. That's the fuck you. What? I don't know whose phone that is. It was in your room. She had her phone in her hand, so obviously she had it. This phone was not in her hand. This phone was plugged in your bedroom on a charger on the wall. Yeah. This phone was laying on the bed. You didn't take it out of her hand. You did not take it out of her hand. And if this belongs to your daughter, she's going to get it back. Yeah. I told your sister that.
Unbeknownst to Tariana, detectives had already uncovered her attempts to conceal her activities. After the incident, she had discarded her phone, changed her number, and believed that she had removed any trace of her whereabouts. However, investigators were able to follow the transition and monitor her digital activity. Their review revealed searches such as, "Can the police track my phone if I remove the SIM?" as well as repeated visits to news reports about the Hudson case. Records showed that she checked 41 times to see if her name had been linked to the crime.
Okay, this is, what I want to show you here is a conversation, okay, within your bubble. And, okay. So, looking at this, me is you, okay, because this is a chat history from your Bumble account. Okay, so April 16th at 1957, you sent a message that says, "Hey Todd, does this look familiar to you, this conversation?" I really don't remember. You don't remember? Okay. No. So you guys had this conversation right here at the end. You asked him, "Hey, you want to exchange numbers?" All right, so me would be you, and then you say that your name is Siobhan, Is that your middle name? Yeah. Okay, so is that kind of what you go by, Siobhan? Is there any other names you go by? No. Just Siobhan? Terry? Okay. So you ask him if he always change numbers. He says, yes, that works for me. And he gives you that phone number. Does that phone number look familiar?
No. Yeah, I don't get it.
Okay. I really don't remember. Okay. So here's some things I want to show you. Remember I told you that I showed you these photos right here. I told you that these photos are from your phone, your search history within your phone. Remember I said that? Mm-hmm. Okay. So with that in mind, I want to show you this. This right here, these are all searches that we did within your phone. Okay. April 18, April 18. These are all images that you viewed. Okay, does that guy look familiar to you now? No, he really don't.
Phone records filled in the missing pieces. Terriana and Todd had connected on the dating app Bumble. Although Todd had told his family that he was seeing someone, Terriana was likely not that person. Turns out that she was a sex worker. She had profiles across multiple dating apps showing her offering companionship services to men with profiles across multiple.
Well, you see, I have a problem with this. I'm a God-fearing choice. What do you mean?
Dating apps showing her offering companionship services to men willing to pay. Todd had agreed to her terms, promising to, quote, spoil her like a queen, end quote. But somewhere between that arrangement and the morning of April 19th, everything went wrong.
We got a lot of information. Okay. We got a lot of information. We got information that puts you in connection with Todd Morgan. We have the neighbors. We have a neighbors who saw you. We got a ring camera. You're leaving a house. We have phone calls. Okay. Your phone puts you at the house overnight. This phone call on the morning of April 19, 2023, 2104, SOS. This is a phone call that came from your phone. We got a lot of information. We have DNA evidence, we have video, we have phone calls, we have Bumble chat messages.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. What's up, bro? First, go to Riverside and open an account.
Terriana's phone data showed her arriving in Hudson after midnight and staying overnight on Todd Street. On the morning of the killing, Todd sent her $50. Minutes later, his phone was seen traveling with hers at 60 miles per hour before being cut off near the I-271 split, where detectives believe that it was tossed, while Terriana kept on driving towards Cleveland. This evidence was further confirmed by surveillance cameras.
You seem like a good person. All the background we did on you. I'm a great your daughter had nothing but good stuff to say to you. Your sister had nothing. So we realized something happened that night. And it wasn't the way it looks to us. And we want to know what really happened there. Something bad happened and we want to hear your side of it. Because we know you're not that person. Everything we've come up on you, you're not that person. But without you talking to us, and that's why we're sitting here. That's why we're giving you the opportunity. Okay? Sitting here, we just booked you and take you to jail. When we're sitting here, we're giving you time. We want to talk. We need to know what happened. Oh my goodness. Now you know Todd Morgan. I really don't know. I don't recall their name like you. I don't know.
What is she saying, bro?
You shot him. No. You remember that? No, I did not.
Yes, you did, bro. Stop lying.
Do you have a Cash App? Cash App account? Yes, I do. You do have a Cash App account? Yeah. Okay. Is that it? Okay. So, with that, is there a reason why Bobby Morgan was sending you a Cash App payment? 7 o'clock in the morning on April 19th.
I don't know. I have some stuff and I feel chocolate so much.
Well, why would some random guy off of Bumble that you had a conversation with decide to wake up one morning and send you $50?
He probably just wanted to take it for nothing.
Why did you're caught for a reason, gang? You're in that room for a reason.
Why would
it can happen.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If you say you wake up one morning, you look at your phone, and it says, Todd Morgan sent you $50. Would you not reach out to Todd Morgan and say, hey, what's that for? Or thank you, appreciate that. Would you
reach out to anybody who's paying for money? So.
Okay, so when you got that $50 payment, did you do that?
No, I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't remember, but I do know that I get random cash apps all the time, so that's nothing.
All right, so in order for Todd Morgan to send you any money at all, he would need to know your cash tag name.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So how would he have gotten that cash tag name to be able to send you $50?
I don't know. He probably got it from me. Like I said, random men do send me money on cash app. I mean, $50 is nothing, so.
So you asked him for $50?
I don't know. I don't remember. $50 is nothing. He might have been buying chocolate or whatever, chocolate, but I don't know.
Todd had sent Terriana a $1,000 payment, but the second transfer never went through.
There was another payment.
Is it a problem?
About 23 minutes later, there was a $1,000 payment that was sent from Todd Morgan to Black Beauty. And you confirm that Black Beauty, this cash app is you. That's you, obviously, in that picture. So he sent you $1,000. Now, we go back to a $50 payment. You say, guys send you random $50 every now and then. Okay, you guys send you random $1,000 payments?
No.
Okay, so
it can happen.
It could happen?
It can happen.
Okay. All right, so here's what happened, though. So this money is sent. And it's sent at 7:25 in the morning. See, this is 11:25. I can't. It's a UTC time, so you got to subtract 4 out. So 7:25 in the morning is a $1,000 payment. That was sent from Todd Morgan to Black Beauty. Let that expire. And it says waiting on sender. Okay, so basically that payment was sent, but Todd Morgan wasn't able to verify that. He got a notice back on his phone that said, hey, you need to answer the security question, whatever it was, in order for this payment to go through. That payment never went through. Did you...
Right, I don't like this audio.
Hello, I'm Bob Kitchen. I'm the IRC's Vice President of Emergency Programs. Right now I'm standing outside Al-Aqsa Hospital.
Agreeing to plead guilty in exchange for a sentence of 20 years to life in prison for the murder of Todd Morgan. Before the judge handed down the sentence, Todd's family stood in court to share their impact statement.
Till one day that you can find it.
It really don't know what else. I think that is it. Let me see this.
La troca es esta y el carro.
Está el trailer, ay, me quiero sentar.
So cuando yo estaba aquí, ¿estabas adentro de la troca?
Sí, me vine corriendo, me sacó la pistola y me quería subir y yo empecé a gritar, help me, help me. Que me escapé, sir. Gracias a Dios.
This truck right here is matching with the potential, with the murders that's been happening within the past 2 weeks. Hey, 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 hey.
Y'all should have shot him.
You can't do that, bro.
Yeah, you can.
Bro.
Yeah, you can.
I'm telling you to walk away. You're not listening to me.
Web County 911.
Hi, good afternoon, ma'am. I'm here driving by Jeffries Road. I believe I found there is a dead body there.
On September 3rd, 2018, the Webb County Sheriff's Office received this chilling 911 call. Examining the crime scene, detectives realized that they were dealing with someone very experienced and professional. What they didn't know was that this crime scene was just the beginning of a horrific killing spree carried out by one of their own.
Yeah.
That dead body that was sprawled out and left on a rural road in Laredo, Texas, belonged to a woman who loved singing 80s ballads at the top of her lungs. She loved getting into tickle fights with her 2 children, and she loved staying up late with them to watch cartoons and giggle long into the night. Her name was Melissa Ramirez, and she was 29 years old. After being assaulted when she was just 13 years old, depression and substance use disorder took hold of her. She found herself working as a sex worker to support her habit. Right before her death, she told her family, in tears, that she wanted to make a better life for herself and her kids. She wanted a different job, a different way of life. And yet, at the same time, she was terrified. One of the last times she saw her family, she told them that she had had a dark premonition. She was going to be shot in the head and left for dead. Just 2 weeks later, that's exactly what happened.
What?
Police in Laredo discovered her in the early morning hours of September 3rd at the edge of a desolate street lined with desert sage and brush. She had been shot in the head several times and left fully clothed with no signs of a struggle nearby. Little did anyone know, Melissa's case would become only the tip of the iceberg. 10 days later, the Webb County Sheriff's Office received a bone-chilling 911 call.
Webb County 911.
Hey, I'm on Highway 255 and 183, and I've got a female in the grass laying, and I don't know if she's unconscious, but she is breathing right now. But there is blood all over the grass. Okay, she's still breathing.
She's breathing, but they're
yeah, she's breathing, but she's got blood all over the grass over here. So y'all better send a paramedic and the police first.
Police raced to the scene on the side of a rural road as quickly as they could. When they arrived, they were fortunate to find the woman still breathing. She had been shot and battered, but like the fighter that she was still clinging to life. Her name was Claudine Ann Luera, a mother of 5 who was also struggling on the streets. It turned out that Melissa Ramirez had been one of her closest friends. They would sit on a bench on the street they worked, sharing tacos, stories, clothes, and their hopes for the future. They had looked out for each other in a world that was particularly cruel to them. The same night that Melissa went missing, Claudine spotted her getting into a car with a man who she only knew as David. He was one of their regulars, a man they had both taken on as a client before. Claudine may have survived the initial attack, but she was left in a coma. After clinging to life in the hospital for a few days, she succumbed to her injuries. With Claudine's death, police knew now that they had a serial killer on their hands. The problem was, they had no leads. Claudine had passed before she was able to give them any information, and there were no clues at the scene of her crime or Melissa's. There was a ruthless murderer on the loose, and they had no way of finding him. That is, until he struck again. Officer Hernandez was pumping gas off duty when a woman ran toward him screaming for help. She was wearing nothing but a bra and a pair of pants. The fear on her face was bone-chilling. Her name was Erica Pena, a 28-year-old sex worker who had been close friends with both Claudine and Melissa, and who also had David as a client.
Vente para acá a este lado nomás. Ponte aquí nomás, deja hablarle. Ok, nomás ponte de este lado, please. Es que tengo que agarrar algo de ahí. Ponte aquí nomás, real quick. Ahorita te ayudo. Just tranquila. Ponte aquí, mira. Let me just get something from you.
No me vaya a ver.
No, no lo voy a ver, no lo estoy viendo.
Me asusté bastante.
¿Y dónde está el muchacho?
Trae una troca blanca.
¿Ya se fue?
Sí. Ay, me asusté bastante, sir.
Okay, just hold on, okay?
Tengo miedo, me puedo sentar ahí, sir.
Espérate. Oye, entonces, nomás tengo que saber algo. Entonces, ¿tú te subiste a la troca y un muchacho?
Yo me subí, sí. Él ofreció comprarme cigarros y compró unas beers. Y dijo, ¿vas a dar la vuelta conmigo? Y yo le dije que sí, sir. Nomás que yo nunca me voy lejos, so I noticed de que él estaba manejando muy para acá. Y le dije...
¿Y dónde estaba el muchacho? ¿Este side?
Ahí.
Ahí donde está la troca, es esta y el carro.
Allá, un tal trailer. Ay, sir, me quiero sentar.
So, cuando yo estaba aquí, ¿estabas adentro de la troca?
Sí. Me vine corriendo, me sacó la pistola y me quería subir y me empecé a gritar, help me, help me.
So, cuando te bajaste de la troca, ¿gritaste?
Sí, sir.
Ok. ¿Y no te acuerdas?
Hay una Dodge blanca, vive por aquí.
¿Sabes dónde vive?
Sí, sí. Si me llevo ahorita más o menos, sí puedo dar, sir.
¿Y por qué te subiste con él? ¿No? Porque ibas a ir a...
Porque me dijo... que si quería unos cigarros.
Ajá.
Y yo le dije que sí y él nomás me dijo, ven a dar la vuelta conmigo un rato y te llevo.
¿Esa Dodge Ram que está aquí no es esa?
A ver, sí. No.
¿Esa no es?
Ay, yo traía una pistola, nomás que...
Are you sure he's not maybe standing around? Maybe a lo mejor está a la vuelta.
Una troca blanca, sir. Mire, y luego I started getting very sick, sir.
Ajá.
I started getting very sick. Y le digo yo a él, maybe it's because I haven't eaten all day.
Yeah.
Y dijo, do you want a burger? Y le digo yo quería que él manejara para allá por la San Bernardo.
Ajá.
Y le digo yo, sí, pero dale para allá por mi barrio. Dijo, I'm gonna stop real aquí. They saw these really good
So
burgers.
you know who he is?
His name is David.
You only know him as David, or?
Yeah. It's your miedo, sir.
Just relax.
Miedo.
Ahí va, don't worry. So, ¿por qué no viniste? Cuando viniste, ¿por qué no me dijiste se acaba de ir un muchacho o algo?
No, porque vengo corriendo desde allá.
So, él estaba en la calle.
Él estaba en la troca.
Pero,
manejando.
sí, no, yo sé, pero ¿dónde estaba la troca? ¿En la calle o aquí en el parking lot?
En la calle.
Ah, ok.
En la calle, sir. Y yo le
calle,
dije, el señor
sir.
tiene una blusa. Y luego el señor dice, allá está la policía, ve. So I'm very scared.
Don't worry, you're
I'm afraid, sir.
So, ¿conoce tu familia o qué?
Pues sabe dónde vivo.
And how does he? So you knew this guy before?
Yes, mire, el vato anda en la Zambe.
Ajá.
Y varias veces me ha levantado.
Ajá.
¿Verdad? Y me ha dado dinero. Nomás que yo no lo había visto.
Okay.
Hay una troca blanca. Yo no lo había visto y hace ratito lo vi.
Okay.
Y él me dijo, ¿quieres unos cigarros y una beer? Acompáñame a dar la vuelta. Pero él empezó a manejar para acá y para acá y yo no me dio miedo. Yo le dije que yo no vengo hasta acá. So, he knew that I wanted to get off. Y él me dice, déjame llevarte aquí.
Nah, the Spanish is on point, low
Te llevo
key.
para atrás y te dejo.
Ajá.
And, me dice, déjame comprarte un lonche y luego te llevo para atrás. Dice, chisquioso.
Okay, bueno,
Trae una Dodge blanca.
but don't worry, ahorita,
We started talking about las muchachas que acaban de fallecer.
las que las bombearon allá.
Melissa y la otra. I got very weird.
Okay.
David only became hostile after she brought up her missing friends. With that detail, Officer Hernandez has his first clue about how serious this really is.
When we went in his house, y llegó a su casa,
Yeah.
I started feeling very sick. I started shaking. Me dio miedo.
Okay.
Miedo me dio. So yo invento. Le digo, vamos para la troca porque se me quedó algo ahí. Y ya que nos salimos, le digo yo, ya no voy a entrar. Ya no puedo entrar, me empecé a sentir bien mal allá adentro. Está bueno, agarró las llaves, la wallet, nos subimos y fue cuando empezó a manejar para acá. Pero ay, gracias a Dios que no me quedé un minuto más. Que algo me fuera pasado. Yo vi en su mirada, sir, como cuando sabes que alguien nota todo, ay.
Oye, ¿tienes aquí golpes o qué?
No, es heroin. Ahorita ya vio que estoy aquí.
Está bueno, don't worry, you're safe with me.
Ahorita ya vio.
You're safe with me, don't worry.
Due to her shock, Peña's story is a bit unorganized. But when she eventually sits down with detectives, she's able to give them a timeline that is as clear as it is shocking. She had seen the suspect several times leading up to this incident. When she arrived at his house on the 14th, he asked her if she was scared of him. She could feel the tension, but also she felt a pang of bravery. She asked if he knew anything about Melissa Ramirez or Claudine Luera. Peña claims that as soon as she asked the question, his eyes darkened and he began to approach her. Unable to control her fear, she burst out of the house and vomited on the front lawn. Desperately trying to get away from him, she told him that she was sick and wanted to go get some cigarettes. Perhaps not wanting to have a fight on the front lawn, her customer, David, agreed to take her. On the way to the gas station, the tension escalated. By the time they reached the parking lot, Peña and David were screaming at each other. When Peña mentioned her friend's name again, David pulled a gun on her. She managed to wrangle out of his grasp, leaving her shirt behind in his tight grip on her, and she fled into the parking lot screaming. In that instant, her life was saved. Since Peña only knew the man as David, another officer takes her for a drive around the neighborhood, hoping that she can find the house he took her to.
Ahorita.
De San Isidro.
This is Academy.
Sí, pero del otro lado, no. Vive, pero del otro lado, no de este lado, del otro lado. Sí, acuérdese.
Por Walmart. Que del otro lado está Walmart.
Casi, sir.
Okay, bueno, just tell me si quieres, while I'm gonna go over there, let me know, okay?
Sí. Creo que disculpe las palabras, yo soy una pendeja para las direcciones.
Okay, well just relax, so you're doing good, okay? And I'm, como te digo, like, I just want to remind you, aquí estoy para ayudarte, okay? And we're gonna help you out.
He's driving with him.
Ya les mandé diciendo que te
This is cool.
Yeah, I send them a text right now.
¿Y una lighter para prenderlo?
Pues of course, yeah, I mean. Okay, so, ¿se vinieron por aquí? I remember that side.
Yeah, that side.
Do you remember this side right here?
No se vino por aquí. Para llegar a su casa, no se vino por aquí.
Acuérdate, no vamos a ir para su casa nomás because
sí, estamos pasando.
Yes, because I just want to make sure you get your help first y luego hacemos esto. And if we have to drive around several times para que encuentres la casa, we'll go ahead and do that, okay?
Sí, sir. Quiero acordarme. Y se me hace, sir, que para llegar para su casa, ay, es que no quiero confundirlo. No sé si pescó por aquí.
Peña's concern about not being able to remember where his house is escalates as the ride continues. Her self-deprecation about her sense of direction is a good demonstration of just how nervous and vulnerable she feels in the cop car. After such a traumatic experience, finding her way in the dark is a challenge. Fortunately, she spots something familiar.
And this Walmart is San Isidro también, but it's on the other side.
Sí, se me hace que sí tuvo que pasar por aquí.
So es más para allá.
Sí, sir. Pasó por aquí para llegar a su casa, porque ahí está el San Isidro.
¿Ese es el sign que está allá?
Sí, ese es el San Isidro. Y para allá. Ese es para allá.
¿Para aquel side?
Sí, para aquel side. Okay. Acuérdese, sir.
Acuérdese. So from that point on, ya sabes cómo llegar, ¿verdad?
Más o menos.
Okay.
Más o menos.
All right, then. That's good, then. Yo me voy a acordar y le voy a decir ahí que te acordaste de esta side. So when you went over there, the first right, volteaste o un poquito más para allá? Because there's like several. O sea, mira.
That's the thing.
¿Te volteas?
No, sir.
Okay.
The thing. No es esta troca.
This is a Ford.
Yeah, estoy nerviosa. Gracias a Dios que me escapé, sir. Gracias a Dios. Ay, Señor. Gracias a Dios que me escapé. Estábamos en su casa, sir.
Maybe a waking moment for her.
De esto, sir.
A wake-up call.
Sick, sir. Fue cuando me salí. Que
Oh, o sea, tiene rato.
no le digo que no lo había visto como en 2 semanas. Y me había ido a buscar a la casa, nomás que yo no estaba en la casa. Mi hermano me dijo, oye, vino a buscarte este muchacho David, toque. Dile que aquí no vives. Y lo vi yo, ¿verdad? Y le dije, oye, no estoy yendo para mi casa. Porque sí lo he visto como 4 o 5 veces. Sí me ha levantado, no le voy a decir que no, y me ha pasado feria. Le voy a hablar al chile como se dice.
No, that's fine, mira, es mejor hablar
al chile
así.
le voy a hablar como, ¿verdad?
O
sea, para que me entienda.
Of course.
El vato me ha ofrecido feria y yo me he ido con él, pero yo no lo había visto.
No, that's fine.
Yo no lo había visto, sir.
The fact that David went looking for Pena at her house is incredibly concerning. Is it possible that he thought she had heard that he was the last one seen with Ramirez before she went missing? It's highly likely that David is trying to tie up loose ends, one of them being Pena herself. While Pena is questioned, law enforcement works fast to review security footage from the gas station where Pena fled. And there it is, clear as day on the footage. A plate number on the truck that Pena ran out of. They run the plate, but as the owner pops up on the screen, they are in disbelief. The truck comes back registered to Juan David Ortiz. He's a well-respected man in the community. He was in the Navy for 8 years. He's a man with a wife and 3 kids. And the most shocking of all, he works as an intelligence officer for Border Control. He's worked with them for 10 years. They can't believe that a man of his standing would do this. And yet, his description matches the one that Pena gives them for the man that almost killed her. The area she said his house is in is exactly where Ortiz lives. Law enforcement have questions for Ortiz. Just hours after Pena is rescued, they storm his house to put him in handcuffs and bring him in for questioning. But, shockingly, Ortiz is gone. He's left behind a cache of guns and ammo in his house, a chilling sign that he may not be done killing. The situation is growing more serious by the second. If Ortiz knows that law enforcement is onto him because Pena escaped, there's no telling what he'll do. With the newfound knowledge that he's been collecting weapons, police know that they have to find him fast. They put a bolo, or be on the lookout, out on his car. Every officer they have available patrols the streets, keeping their eyes peeled for his white truck. In the wee hours of the morning, 2 officers spot Ortiz's truck at a gas station on the edge of Laredo. The 2 officers approach the truck.
Wee hour in the morning.
They are eager to take Ortiz into questioning, but it won't be easy.
That's his truck right there. He walked inside.
He walked inside?
Yeah. 3845. I'm with Bradshaw. Making contact.
All right, 10-4, bro.
Gotta get him. Get him, boys. Get him. Get him, boys. Get him. Oh. Wait, what? But
Stop right there. Stop. Is this your truck? Is this your truck? Okay. All right. Turn around. Turn around.
Get on your knees.
Turn around. I'll explain to you right now. Turn around.
The young officer who is speaking to Ortiz is about to make a terrible mistake that will put countless people in danger. In a high-risk situation like this, there is no need to explain from a distance what the arrest is for. Ortiz needs to be put in handcuffs and detained as quickly as possible.
Okay, I'm gonna explain to you. Okay, Bradshaw, I'm gonna do the talking. Go ahead. All right, sir, we got a positive ID with some. This truck right here is matching with the potential, with the murders that's been happening within the past 2 weeks. We wanna do an interview. We wanna do some questioning. We just need for you to cooperate with us, okay? All right, fine. Make my way. Just turn around and make my way this way, okay? Turn around.
Damn, 2 rookies together?
Just turn around.
That was
turn
a
around.
veteran
Please.
and a rookie.
Turn around. Hey.
It was rookie with a veteran. Rookie mistake, my boy. I guess he doesn't know him. Okay, just right.
He went out here. He's in here, bro. He's in here. Where? We don't know. That's where we lost him when he did the corner. He cut in, so he's gonna be on this right here, on this section right here. We need a unit on that side, bro.
David Ortiz!
He's gotta be, bro. He couldn't make it all the way over there.
Ortiz could have run. That puts them in a tight spot. And it's only made worse by the calls that are soon flooding into the station.
There's a body. I didn't stop because I have my baby with me, but there's a person laying on the ground right underneath the bridge. It might have been one of those homeless people, maybe, under shelter, just really due to the rain. You didn't see him move or anything. I didn't see him move. Like I said, I have my baby with me, so I didn't want to risk stopping. And but he didn't. He was in an awkward position. Also, he wasn't under the bridge. He was on the actual road.
In the hours between Pena escaping Ortiz's truck and the police finding him at the gas station, Ortiz has already killed more people. Not just one woman, but 2. 35-year-old Giselda Alicia Hernandez Cantu was shot by Ortiz underneath a bridge in the early dawn hours of September 15th. 28-year-old Janelle Ortiz, who wasn't related to Juan David Ortiz, worked the same streets as the other 3 victims. Beloved by everyone who knew her, she always seemed to be smiling and laughing.
Jeez.
She fell prey to Ortiz less than a couple hours after Chelly was shot. As the calls came into the station, it became clear that Ortiz was making his last stand. They couldn't have him out on the streets. They had to find him immediately.
What was he wearing?
Jeans. Khaki shirt, bro.
Jeans, khaki shirt.
Fuck, right here, dude. He couldn't have made it all the way up here.
That dog didn't bark until just now. Up here, go down. I got top cover, y'all go down.
We have to go down again.
Hey, second, let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, you want to go in? Let's go. That's what we're trying for. Right here. Fuck. Oh, fucker.
More officers arrived to search the property, as well as a lieutenant. He's aware that the officers have made a potentially fatal mistake by letting Ortiz go. Not only does Ortiz know that law enforcement is onto him, giving him nothing to lose, but he's also armed and dangerous. It's a recipe for disaster.
I don't know, Way. I don't know how he could have jumped. Nah, that's not it, Way. It's not it. He couldn't have made it, 100%. He couldn't have made it, 100%. 100%, Way. 100%, bro. 100%, bro.
100% sure he could have made it.
He could, bro. Can you make this in 5 seconds? After running 1, 2, 3 blocks?
I don't know.
Bro, he got specific training, bro.
Right now we've got this on lock.
Okay, let's just say Okay, boom. I know what to do. What's this? I'm gonna go talk to the hotel. They got any cameras?
Yeah, they're waiting on some other guy's approval.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Bradshaw already went in there. So, in the military, you always taught to least path of resistance. So, jumping right there's one. This would be your second option. Yeah, the lady at the gas station. So what, did he see y'all and just take off?
No, he stopped. So Bradshaw did commands, and then I was doing commands.
Did y'all go into the store to get him, or was it outside?
No, outside. So then the guy was like, "Y'all, I don't know what y'all want. I don't know, like you got the wrong guy. I don't know." So then I told Bradshaw, "Hey Bradshaw, let me do the talking just so we won't have two, you know." So, of course, I mean, obviously my adrenaline's up. So I'm like, "Okay, you gotta chill. We're here to interview you. Plausible suspect from from victims or murder case." And he's like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about." I was like, "Okay, just listen. Turn around." So he turned around. He's like, "Okay, just follow my and walk towards me." And then he like bolted.
Y'all should have shot him.
You can't do that, bro.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. I'm serious. He's already armed dangerous.
Okay.
He's already
Okay.
killed two people.
But we don't know it was him. We don't know. Now we do, right? Obviously. But did you know at that point he was a plausible suspect, right? Okay.
Fortunately, a nearby neighbor believes he saw Ortiz.
Oh, but Brody is a military trained. Those dudes are trained to kill. I won't see my chance. Oh no.
Slipped through his alleyway. Suspecting that he is in a nearby parking lot, the officers get together to devise their plan. Going against someone who is not only armed, but trained puts all of them at risk.
32, the reason why we're going this way, there's a building, we went to a firefight, we're shooting that way, we're gonna hit the building. Okay. We don't put it, okay? Let's keep that in mind. Shit happens.
Bro, there's no one in his same rank or platoon or something. They're like team, unit, whatever it's called.
We pull back, grab
Call that dude.
All right, we reassess and
we're not going in. Let me just get the final. Okay.
Let's go. Ariel, underneath here, it's not underneath here. It's not filled. It's pillars. Go inside.
Go down, talk to the person in front, ask them how we can get to the bottom of this damn ramp.
No.
Damn, where you at? Oh.
Yes, it is.
You already know. Huh?
You already know.
What's your name?
You already know.
All right, let me see your face.
What's your name?
I got a picture.
Simon.
What's your name?
Huh? What's your name?
Take your shoes off, wait.
Hey. Hey.
Pick him up. Pick him up.
Get him up. Get him up.
Yeah, you gotta take your shoes off. You gotta check his belt.
Sit him right here, please.
You gotta check this, whatever. It's your chest area. Pits.
Good job. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. That's teamwork.
Finally, after 2 weeks of terror, Ortiz was finally in custody. Law enforcement had questions for him, and with Ortiz's initial resistance, the interrogation lasted over 10 hours.
Ew.
Though the majority of the footage is available, the audio quality makes it a challenge to make out exactly what is being said.
Yeah, no.
How Despite pleading not guilty to 4 counts of murder and 1 count of assault, Ortiz was sentenced to life in prison for the senseless murders of these women. Now, if you think this case was horrific, you need to check out my video on the psycho prison guard who got life in prison.
Your case has a story.
All right, chat. That's it. Good night, good night, good night, good night, good night, good night.